So I'm done with their ass. They're fired. And yeah,
I like this.
my man just took over. It's Josh Castor.
Josh Castor.
I'm just laughing. No, I just thought it was really. Here's the deal. I thought it was kind of a crappy way to do business. They didn't have to treat me like that.
Why this is different, and you feel like you have a defensible run against the against Bowtech.
Toast.
We're getting the process down really good now. We've done this, what, 15, 20 of these now or something like that?
Something
awesome.
like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
a few
just what did we screw up this time? What do we need to remember to do next time?
Years
That kind of
ago,
thing.
when everybody kind of started on this, I'd say 10 years ago, there was very few people in the space.
Mm-hmm.
Loophole was one of the first ones that brought a pod in-house. And the CEO's like, hey, I want to do a podcast with you. I'm like, this stupid shit. This podcast, nobody cares about a bunch of guys sitting around talking. Now that's all it is. It's a podcast about everything.
Well,
everything.
The amazing part of it is people don't get to hear long form conversations anymore, and they don't even really have them right in person. Like they don't have that interaction with people, and so they've gravitated to these things so they can actually feel that, because there's something in that interaction that's always interesting or incredible. Like someone having a long form conversation about who knows whatever is engaging, and I've gotten caught in it. Like I never listened to a podcast until like 4 years ago. Never listened to one.
Me either.
And then somebody told me I had to listen to Rogan's.
Yeah.
And now all I do is listen to podcasts, and there's only like 2 or 3 I listen to because I don't have time. But when I do, it's always in the background. Just turn it on.
And it's pretty
and
amazing.
I love music. Like I'm very much a big music guy, and I listen to podcasts more than I listen to music anymore.
Well,
I really
it
do.
just passes the time when you're rolling down the highway, somebody jabbering about whatever. And it's crazy because you really don't, like the kids out there that you see this setup. I mean, you don't really have to spend a ton of money to do it. And if you've got interesting content, people will listen. I mean, I personally don't think Joe Rogan's very engaging. I know Joe. And I mean, he does great. It's super produced, like that set we showed you from yesterday. But sometimes I just don't think that's what people want. People want somebody to say shit. And that bow is a piece of shit.
They do.
Or, them arrows are junk or something like that. I mean, that's what gets people. And I think, I personally think that's why you do so well, because you're pretty straight up. I mean, you could shoot any bow you want to shoot, but you choose not to have anyone give you a bow.
Correct.
Because that way you don't have to form an opinion.
Yes.
You're telling the truth.
Yes.
And that's the problem I see with bow review. It's an opinion of like, okay, so everybody's not the same. Like a certain guy is a speed guy. The next guy is, man, it's got to be dead. Even though it's 20 feet slower, this is the way I want it to feel on the shot. But truthfully, in the last 5 years, with the new arrows and the new broadheads, and any bow at 60 pounds at a normal draw length will pretty much kill anything on the damn planet.
So as you can tell, Pigman is on a bit of a roll, and I did not want to interrupt him in the moment, but I wanted to remind everybody, like and subscribe. Please use discount code BMAC. That's discount code BMAC for 10% off your purchases at podiumarcher.com.
So it's just preference, like what you like, That's what it is. Yeah. So,
well, depending on the type of broadhead and whatnot, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's
you shoot junk.
That's
always been. Talk about
that's
that.
always been the factor.
You're a junker.
Hey, but that's always been the factor. Has been the broadhead. It's always been 90 to 95% of the problem.
Oh, but he's calling you a junker, and I want to know why you're a junker.
Why? I don't know.
He's a junker.
Yeah.
What am I a junker with?
He's sold on these guys from Utah, and I know him.
So for the record,
come on, go ahead and say it. And then I'm
for the
tell
record,
my story.
I shoot lots of different brands.
I know you do.
Lots.
Luckily, your latest addition to your badass bow shop here in Nashville, which I will say, I don't know that in my career, in my life, that I've ever been in a more well-stocked bow shop anywhere I've ever been. This is a very, if you people out there are wondering if this is something that he just talks about and there's set props. We got this bow over here and we got this bow over here. No. This dude's got 1,000 bows. Like, no matter what brand you like, what color you like, what pattern you like, he's got it. And and we in Landon was talking about that this morning. This is a cool area. It really is.
It really is.
It's right on the edge of everything you need, but you can still pull through a red light and there's not a car coming.
Yep.
It's actually a pretty cool location.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
But I was surprised meeting Josh for the first time, which I'm sure being in the space, people have a lot of opinions about me from a manufacturer sponsor type thing. People say, "Oh, he's too expensive." Well, okay, that's what marketing guy said. "Oh, I heard you was too expensive." I said, "Well, you ain't even ask." So about Josh, you basically look at this cat with a mohawk, but do you know he's got daughters? And do you know that his daughter had a lot to do with his brand? And he really moves a lot of product and he does a lot of good things for the space. And that's what I care about because we're losing ground with our youth. And you're in a badass community. I notice you have a lot of youth bows out there. Guys, do you do crossbow reviews?
I'm working on them right now.
Okay. I was just wondering that because everybody gets like, "Oh, he shoots a crossbow." It don't matter. You're still an archer.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're not our caliber archer. You're still that guy that shoots a crossbow at 100 yards, but it don't matter. You're buying a license and you're out in the field and maybe your buddy's like, "Oh, shoot, that's cool." So you're promoting the sport.
Still a hunter.
So
You're still a
I had a
hunter.
really horrible view of crossbow guys for years, but I don't. So you're a crossbow guy?
No, he hates
No,
them.
I'm a guy that doesn't like crossbow hunters because I feel like the regulations have been too loose, and
Right,
I feel
I
like
agree.
I feel like there's too many negatives that have now run into archery season.
Let me
because of
tell you how
crossbow
old
guys.
I am.
Tell me.
I'm old. This is how old. My doctor just retired last year. He's 78. And I can remember talking to him about my dad. I need that deal. He's handicapped. I need you to write that so he can shoot a crossbow.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's too damn easy. It's the technology is way ahead of the law. Like you have crossbows hanging on the shelf in here that you can drill something at 100 yards for sure.
That a new person who's
Right.
never shot it before.
Yeah,
can
it's a
do that with.
great example of Pappy.
Yep,
He's
you
part
was
of our
telling me
group,
that.
right? He broke his ribs, got a permit. I showed up at camp with something he'd never shot. He put 10 arrows through it and killed an antelope with it at like 100 yards. Like,
That's insane.
yeah, like that's not. I mean, there's a place and there's a need, but there needs to be some kind of separation.
Yeah.
it really does. And
It
that was
does.
in a state where you had to get a permit to be able to use it, right? So he was disabled, so it makes sense. But where there is no restriction and it's an overlapping season, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right.
That's
Unless
something I
they're
would
just
love to be
trying
able to change.
To whack a ton of deer. Like if they're like, these guys, we need as many people trying to kill whitetail in whatever, the state of Tennessee as possible. Okay. Like maybe just extend gun earlier. Like if you really want to whack a bunch of animals, then go ahead, put gun season right in the.
Well, we know. We all are smart enough to know the two are not comparable.
No.
Like, I mean, it's just, I mean, anybody, like to your point, Baffy, anyone can pick that thing up, pow, and and people would like to say they're bow hunting. Well, I don't really think they're bow hunting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's like sticking an arrow down the barrel of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It's basically the same thing. But hey, people are doing it. We know the crossbow space is probably growing faster than a vertical bow space. The industry's down, and for you, sales is sales.
That's right. You can't
it's your
ignore
business.
it. Yeah, if you're in a state where it's legal, you'd be foolish not to. And having a national company that ships stuff, it's like it was finally an excuse to get into crossbows. It's like, hey, we're in a state where they're going to be sold face to face, so it justifiably has us carrying them. Let's see how it goes on the website, and it's been going good.
They're also expensive as shit.
Incredibly expensive.
So
Yeah.
you ship a $2,000 crossbow out, and it makes more sense to have that sitting on the shelf than some $400 item that would take up the same amount of size.
Yeah, they're one of the most expensive things we ship,
No doubt.
if not the most expensive thing we ship.
Yeah,
It's
It's
wild.
wild.
I actually know, excuse me, the young man that actually designed the Raven. He worked for Faradyne for years, and he had a lot to do with the Rage. He made all the Muzzy stuff there for a while. I worked with them in designing some of their stuff. some of their heads. And we changed some blade steel. But this kid is like, he can sketch this on a napkin and like make that stuff work. It's mind boggling. He's, in a way, he's a lot like Kevin is. Some people just have that high functioning autistic. Maybe is what I call it.
Touch of the tism.
Touch of the tism.
Touch of the tism.
So Kevin is who you're mentioning. Kevin Struther is who designed the truth bow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. I basically, just because, I mean, I have a pending lawsuit against a major bow company now.
Let's go into this a little bit and let's talk about. So I think let's go to the beginning.
Let me go grab one. You can keep talking.
Yeah,
let me go grab one.
So because I can just cut to the single camera view. So let's back up and basically start from the beginning with how you got involved with Truth or created Truth. I know nothing about the actual origin of it. So why don't you give people the rundown?
What you need to know is you need to be selling a lot more of them for me. Number one, that's the main object here. I wanted to. So I got caught up over the years in this Westie mentality thing. Like, I've seen companies transition from being, okay, we're all about bird watching, an optics company. Now they want to hire me because I'm gritty. They need that Southern customer. Specifically, issues with Bass Pro. Nobody's going into the store servicing them. They sell shit tons of these scopes for this company. And so I kind of solved that problem. I put those guys back together.
Yep.
We did a sales meeting out there at Big Cedar. But then they go back. Now they're hunting again. Now they're back to bird watching again. It's pretty incredible. And I just instead of dealing with another bow sponsor, and I've had every one of them, and me and Josh talked about this last night. So that makes you younger guys out there that are fans of me or Josh, either one of us, I'm a brand jumper. No, this is what I do for a living. And if a company don't want to pay me anymore, I have to find a company that will pay me.
Yeah.
And I have signed deals, honest to God, I've signed deals knowing that the product may be questionable, but I still have family. And I can, like, Josh, you could go in there and say, I'm going to really screw with this guy. We're going to go pig hunting tonight. Or I got a big deer hitting a bait. And we just open deer season. I want you to kill a deer. I don't have to have a sight on that bow. And I don't necessarily have to have a rest on that bow. I can drop that arrow right on that shelf. I've shot enough fish with an Oneida that I can, at 20 yards, I can kill an animal with a bow.
Sure.
And some of them are better than others. And we all know this. Yeah. But you have to do what you have to do. And I got so tired of mid-contract, 5-year contract. Everybody signs it. Get a call on Saturday morning, driving to Lowe's with my wife. You don't have a contract. Not hello. How you doing this morning? What's up? Everything good? You don't have a contract. Oh yeah, I have a contract. Basically, their stance is, oh, okay, well, sue me. It's going to cost you more than what we owe you.
Yeah.
It's there in this space. There's very few people that stand by their word. Like, if I tell Josh I'm going to do something, I'm going to be here next Saturday for a grand opening or an event you're having. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here 30 minutes early. I'm not going to call and say, well, my wife's toe hurts. You know, you've spent all this money promoting everything, I don't show up. And it's just the shitty business practices in this space, I believe, is why this space is down as much as it is.
You feel like you get a little bit more behind the scenes than most people do, though, because like you've been in this for so long.
20 years.
20 years.
Yes, sir.
So you seem a little jaded. Like,
I am.
Understandably, though.
That's a very accurate description.
But that's the reason that this came about.
Yes, sir. I just thought, okay, I have shot stuff that Struther has made before. Every bow company has their own style of engineering. Me and Josh talked about a specific bow last night, and I quizzed him on, he's got any bow he wants to shoot. What would he shoot? And we talked about it. And I'll be honest with you, his answer shocked me. I didn't say anything last night. I am about efficiency of a bow and how a bow performs with a multitude of different weights of arrows, from a light arrow, which I've never been a light arrow guy, but Strother has changed me on. He ain't shooting nothing that's heavier than 350 grains.
He's a super. I want to talk about that eventually, though. Is
Right,
like the long distance
Yeah, he's out
competition
of
stuff.
control.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's as we speak, he's still in Nevada, and he's at like world record number 4. He stripped a bow yesterday because he didn't even know this class existed. It's something they added, and it's basically your max draw weight can be 88.1 pounds and 30-inch maximum draw. Well, the arrows he had built for another competition, that's all he had. So he has a True 31. He puts a set of limbs on it. It's 83.5 pounds. He has to shorten the draw to 27.5. So his arrow worked because the rest can only come back so far.
Oh, okay.
So he can only, so that's all he had. And he comes within 40 feet of breaking a world record with the stock bow. This dude's, and keep in mind, this to put it in perspective, his unlimited compound record is a 195-pound bow. 195-pound bow shooting like a 200-grain arrow. It's like 600 feet a second plus. And it's something like 1,300 yards. It's ridiculous. The dude's out of control, man.
Does he? Do you have to draw the bow yourself under your own power?
60 times. And
Shut
so
up.
for instance.
He's jacked, though.
Oh, no. This dude, he's got a leg sled. He
Yeah.
works out with like 2,400 pounds.
Yeah, he's the definition of jacked and tan.
Yeah, he's out of control. 62 years old. Listen,
Yeah, I probably would avoid talking
I'm
shit.
going to be honest on this podcast because I think I need to be, because people have a lot of questions about Kevin. A mutual friend, he was the product manager for Bear. He worked for Arcus, which he was over the Obsession and Martin brands. He was at Bear. He was there. He actually worked for Bowtech for a while. He was a product guy. He hated being in Oregon. He's a Georgia guy. So he came back. He introduced me to Kevin, and he said, I'm going to warn you. Very few people can get along with him. I said, all right. So what's, he got little man syndrome. What's going on? He said, no, Kevin actually has Asperger's. And I think that the more that I've dealt with him, I think he is, and I know another guy that it's they're almost the same. This guy will tell you he is a high-functioning autistic.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what Kevin is. I've known a lot of, and I'm talking to you about this kid, Matt, that basically made the Raven. He started with Larry in the beginning. Now Larry does fishing rods because he can't be back into the archery space. Whatever, he signed some kind of agreement where he won't make product.
Well, that's got to be done because he just came out with that Broadhead.
There you go. So it must be over.
Yeah, it must be over.
But Matt's one of the best. And that when I went into, I met them guys. They told me this kid is exceptional. Like you can tell him what you want, and he can make it. Like in CAD, Kevin's the same way. He draws stuff so fast and changes stuff so fast. You don't. Other than a conglomerate of people where you have to have meetings and the owners have to look at that and you have to do this and you have to do that. Nobody has ever just told him, go. What do you think? Go. I think this bow will do that. I think we'll be here. Make it. Prototype it. And let's see what it is. And in his defense, he don't just throw something together. When he draws something and he wants to do it, he protos every single bow, whatever model it is, whatever brace height it is. If we make a cam change, if you make a module change, he protos every single thing and runs it to ground before we try to launch anything. So I just basically went to him and said, hey, he said, what do you want to do? And I'm like, we got to make a light bow. And I think we made it too light, to Josh's point. Josh brought that up last night. The argument is people will say to you, well, that lets you put the weight where you want it. But in the end, we have a model that we did not decide to make that weighed 2.9 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And it feels like it's like a piece of poly. Like it feels like a kid's bow.
What was the axle to axle on that?
29.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a shootable bow. I shot
That's
it.
insane.
And the crazy thing that I found about this bow is I'm an AAE guy. Mountain stabilizer, 4-inch in the front. I'll put a 6-inch with maybe 4 or 5 weights, depending on what I'm wanting to feel, how I'm feeling. I can drop all that off. Well, of course, QD attachment. I can take all the stabilizers off of it, and the bow still shoots exactly the same spot. Like it don't. I haven't had that for years. I shot the carbons for a while, and they was limited on where you could put weight.
Sure.
You know,
Very much.
Yeah,
And
There's
still
just so many
heavy.
attachment points.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, they're not remotely competing with the lightness of what you're talking about.
yeah.
anymore.
And but to Josh's point, Josh brought up a great point last night. I do also agree with you that a bow can be too light.
Yeah.
And for years I was the 8-pound guy. I wanted my bow heavy because really all I care about, I have to pick it up to here and turn it loose on an animal. I'm not competing in 3D. I'm not carrying it around the hills. I'm sitting in a pop-up blind.
Yeah.
And that's how I made my career. I don't spot and stalk and chase animals down. I bait them to where I want to kill them. And that pissed a lot of people off when I first started.
Yeah.
The network, you can't, you need to put that bait behind a log. Huh? What are you talking about? No, I'm going to put 200 pounds of corn in the middle of the road. And if this javelina gets up on top of the corn pile, I'm going to shoot him right off the top of the corn pile. I'm killing everything I can legally. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I'm not waiting on the 155 deer that's standing over in the brush that's staring right at the blind. I'm going to shoot the 135-inch deer that's a cull 8 that's eating the corn because he's broadside.
Yeah.
I'm rolling tape. I'm paying this guy $500 a day. Some shit's supposed to die. So basically, to your point, Kevin, we talked. He sent me several drawings of the riser. I said, no, I just don't. That's not my thing. It's got too much curve in it. Like it looks like everybody else's. First thing one of the other reviewers said is it looks like a marten. Well, there's nothing about this bow. It may look like a marten from over here. But nothing is the same. The brace is different, the speed's different, the cam's totally different, and then we'll get into the K-set in a minute because I see Bowtech dropped a new system yesterday. Now I know why they're trying to sue us. And what's crazy about that is that system to me looks a lot like the K-set.
Sure.
So I now know why they sent us a cease and desist. But now me and Landon was talking. We're following Kevin on Facebook because he's still out in Nevada at the shoot, and now he wants to sue their ass because for 8 months he's had patent pending on this, and he believes that they're about to issue it. We have 2 other systems that he's expedited his patent on to get it faster. So I don't know if I have no problem with Bowtech. I don't know the people that are there anymore. I used to. I've shot a lot of animals with a Bowtech bow over the years. Is it one of my favorites? No. Is Matthews? No, it is not. It's not my style of bow. I've always been a heavy poundage, 550 to 600 grain arrow guy. I don't care about speed. I'm at 275, 280. That's as fast as I want my hunting setup to be. And I choose to shoot bigger cutting broadheads.
Yeah.
Because when you are shooting with right-handed and you're blind in your right eye and you use your left eye, I have no peep. My sight is almost 3 inches. The pins are 3 inches left of the arrow shaft.
Wow.
If you
okay,
torque,
so you're not leaning your head
no,
over
sir.
to
No, sir. I
Wow.
shoot a half-inch shorter draw. I pull the string right to the center of my nose.
Yep.
And I use my left eye and the pins. And you want to talk about proper shot. If you punch the trigger, I'm off 8 inches at 20 yards. It's took me years to be able to get back out to 100 yards with that setup.
I did not know that's how you shot. All those
Yes, sir.
videos I watched.
I can show you.
Fascinating.
I can show your guys, like you have a guy that and Josh says to me last night, you need to be shooting left-handed. It was the most awkward thing. And at the time when I had my wreck, the injury. Bear, that's who I had. They sent me a 40-pound bow and left. And I thought, oh my God, if I got to do this, I'm quitting. I went back to a recurve. Where I was just okay, I'm gonna shoot a traditional bow. I'm not doing all this shit anymore. But I learned, and it's just very simple. On this particular bow, I told Kevin, because most bow manufacturers don't do this. They thread the riser through to a certain point.
Yeah.
They don't go all the way through.
Yep.
So when I turn this bow over like this, and I put my shims on, and I use an 1 3/4 1024 screw, the screw don't go in. So I end up having to tap the riser myself. So Kevin took these all the way through. That was for me. So I can drop them shims. And what I use, you guys have seen a all thread connector.
Yeah.
It's about that long.
Yep.
Coupler.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
And that's my shim. And that's how far it is. But theoretically, I'm holding this bow to you. My sight pins are here.
Wow.
So, but a guy that is hell-bent that he is not going to change to left-handed because maybe he's left eye dominant, maybe he has an eye injury. If I had my bow set up, I could right eye patch you, and you can shoot my bow. You'll hit spot on where I'm shooting. But I have made some horrible shots when I was learning this, and it's so critical to the point where I almost really need to probably shoot a hinge. If you do not pull the trigger perfectly, every shot, you're off.
Your amplification of torque is
You're
bonkers.
off bad.
Because things are so amplified out of square.
You have so much.
Even
So
to
if
the
there's
point
any
my
rotational
camera guy
turn,
would
you'd
say
be
to me,
horrible.
hey, why don't you just aim center mass? I'm like, okay, obviously I thought the deer was left and the deer was right, and I shot the wrong crease. I grass sacked it. But that's why I like a 2-inch cut 3-blade mechanical that's sharp, that it's really hard for an animal to run away when they're tripping over their guts. So, yeah.
That's valid.
You're not wrong.
No,
it's
that's what I'm
gruesome, but
saying.
you're not wrong.
And you're a Grim Reaper. We talked about that last night. I know them guys.
I like Grim Reaper. Yeah.
I know them guys very well. I killed a lot of animals with.
I'm anxious to test what we talked about because I believe you're
Yeah,
right.
no,
I never even thought about it, but
well,
I'm like, yeah.
I don't want to give them
right.
any bad press because I mean a lot of guys will tell you it's the best broadhead they're having, and there's a lot of my fans that still, for some reason, believe that I shoot a Grim Reaper. I don't know why it's stuck in their head that I do, but I mean I can think back on one of the biggest whitetail I ever killed in Colorado, 55-yard shot. Deer ducked. I popped him straight in the heart. Deer was down in 7 steps. I stepped off where the deer was standing, where he peeled and went left, and it was 7 steps to where the deer was. But he'd been chasing does all night. He was probably completely exhausted.
Yeah.
But I popped his heart, and he's laying there, blood everywhere. No one at the time, and somebody's probably changed it by now. These guys from Africa reached out to me and said, hey, we want you to kill a male and a female lion same day with a bow. Nobody's ever done that. So they was 21 miles apart, but we got it done. And Lacta got killed.
Yeah, that video.
The female almost killed us.
The videos.
So
your lion hunt video was epic.
I shot that cat with the 1 3/8 Grim Reaper. No spring. I'm just being honest. I mean, we're being honest. I appreciate what they're doing.
Go into more depth what you're talking about because you said no spring. Explain what you're saying though.
Well, I can caveat it for you though. So Grim Reaper's mechanical system has a spring internally for each blade, and that's how it opens and closes. And you think there's somewhat of a flaw in that system, so you remove the springs and put an O-ring on it, right?
Yes, I just wanted less resistance.
Less resistance.
Basically, what I'm saying, people's asked me over the years, why do you shoot big pigs with a mechanical like that? Why don't you use a fixed? Because a mechanical, it's the same thing if you go fixed, if you go rage. That rage, when you hit a pig, the blades are gonna fly open, and you got to go through the hide.
Yeah.
Well, on a big boar, you got 1 inch or maybe 2 inches of cartilage to go through before you get into the cavity of the animal. And with the mechanical, those blades are standard jackknife. Let's call it a rocket with an O-ring, a dental band. That it goes in, and it don't open till it gets inside. And I know this because I have caped hundreds and hundreds of pigs that was shot with that broadhead like that. And you can see where the it closed position goes through the hair and through the cartilage. And when it gets through there, it opens on the inside. So as it goes through, you can tell damage here. You can see the cut. And then by the time it gets center of the cavity and out, it's wide open. So with that system on a Reaper, that expander cup in the rear where all that stuff is housed, you got your spring, you have the little ring that goes through the holes at the bottom of the blade. It's brilliant design. But what I learned was, and I told Josh this, I took a piece of leather and you poke the tip through. And when the blade's in the closed position, when the ears of that broadhead hits, it shoves them blades to the very back of that expander cup. And when it's all the way in the rear position, they're locked.
And it just drastically increases the poundage it takes to deploy them. I had the exact same results when I was doing broadhead.
And listen, again, I want to be clear about this. I have no bone to pick with the guys at Grim Reaper. I know Jay and Matt very well. I filmed Jay shoot right through the side of a blind and still hit the pig. I said, Jay, you're going to shoot through the blind. He's like, what? He turned her loose and shot the pig right in the ass, but we killed it. So it don't matter. We had a good time. I have no animosity against the guy. I'm simply saying, as far as what they was trying to do with blade retention and getting completely away from an O-ring, when they launched, there was still a patent on that style of blade retention. And as they moved forward, that patent no longer exists. So you see a lot of people that have a broadhead that is the blades are held in place by a dental band, an O-ring. Whether it be the Muzzy Shank, which I designed, or Schwacker, those style of broadheads. It was brilliant that they went around that and that design with that expander cup and everything in the rear. But I just simply learned there's two ways. You do away with the spring completely and you go to a dental band, or you cut about 2 coils off that spring.
Okay, lighten it up.
And that makes the blades deploy faster. So if you're for pigs, that setup works pretty good, like it is, because you want the head to go in and then deploy as it goes through. Works pretty good. On a thin skin animal, let's say we're hunting deer in Texas. We're shooting 120-pound deer. Broadside, you're not hitting ribs, bone, nothing. You're going right through the pump station. You're not going to see an exit, a big hole. You're going to, it's going to be from the center out. Your entry will look exactly like those blades was glued shut, unless you change that spring. And I've taught guys that over the years, and they're like, holy shit, I can't believe it. You don't really have that problem a lot with the 2-inch, the whitetail special, because the blades are so big, there's a lot to grab. And I noticed you carry a certain broadhead out there. I'm not going to name it. But the guy actually had, I'm trying to think what that thing was called. He sold it to like the people that own Bloodsport. Gravedigger.
Yeah.
Those blades come out in the front like this.
Yeah, that's
okay?
Dale.
Dale.
Yeah.
I know Dale very well.
Yeah.
And they're sharpened all the way to the point. Problem with that is they're not grabbing to open. They're actually cutting the hole. And I'll be honest to God, I shot a warthog. You can look at it online. I was in a pit blind in Africa with an 85-pound bare bow, 600-grain arrow. This thing comes in from the right. I'm like, I didn't even see it. And it's basically me to Josh looking at me. We're eye level. I'm actually shooting up. So I'm between the two windows. And I drew the bow back, and he was so close. I tried to put a pin on him. I'm like, this is pointless. I just brought the release up to my eye and turned the bow sideways. I go right in here. And comes out the hip. This thing keeps going, and there's blood, but not what it should be. A gravedigger. He keeps going and going. We go 700 yards. I have to shoot it again.
Wow.
When we caped it, it's like I glued the blade shut on the broadhead. I don't know if it was that range or what it was. It's maybe too much force, and it's the same kind of thing. That broadhead closes from tension.
Yeah.
It goes on the inside, and that's the only what holds those mechanical blades. Blows my mind. And there is not a perfect fix for any of those kind of broadheads. Like, I basically rebranded the Rockets. Trophy Ridge just let it die. And I went back to the original manufacturer that made those in the 80s. His name is James Wang. You got many of his broadheads on your shelf right now. He makes a lot of those. Evolution, I know exactly who makes all the blade steel. And I'll drop it on your podcast. His name is Reed Lee. His company is Broadheads for Less. Those broadheads are $2 a piece. That's what they are. But I went back to the original guy in Taiwan, James, and James is absolutely the guy that makes all the rage. He makes everyone. He cut 15 million blades last year.
Ooh.
So
It's a lot.
No
so
kidding.
my line of broadheads, I have a small broadhead, 100 grain, 1 3/4 cut. It looks a whole lot like a swacker, but it basically looks like a 16 penny nail with blades. It's brutal, but it has the same problem. Instead of a black O-ring, it simply needs a dental band on it.
I'm gonna adjust.
Gonna fix the mic. Yeah, I was about to it's too. It's been
down.
yeah. It's been getting low on you.
It's not. It's
It's
Yeah, you
the
got
stand.
some jump, man. Why you
Yeah.
trying? I mean, I'm in deep, and y'all got some jump over here. No, I just think people don't really talk about broadheads. It's like a bow brand. They act like that this bow brand that they love so much is one of their cousins. It's everybody makes good bows.
I agree.
You got great
I agree.
bows
There's never been a better time for bows.
No.
Like almost every bow built period is good. Like there's not, you can lay them all out and nitpick them and find little finite differences
Right,
between them and why you'd like this one over that one, etc. But I don't.
Yeah.
There isn't a bow built. I don't think that I wouldn't use
No
anymore. And there were bows 10 years ago, 15 years ago that I would not use. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not using that. Sorry, it wouldn't
Yeah,
matter if you paid me or how
everybody's
much you
had
paid
to
me.
elevate their game.
Yeah.
I think me personally, I think the pricing of bows has got ridiculous. And I mean, I sit there and say I have my own, and it retails for $1,500. You know, I would much rather that bow be $1,200.
Sure.
I'm working on some things. We're making some manufacturing changes where I can actually bring the price of the bows down. If we decide to launch 26, which we already have the bows made, there will be a left, and my bows will never go up. If I can perfect the manufacturing process better, I'm going to lower the price of the bows. I want people to shoot my bows. This looks like competitors' bows to me. Kevin designs for them because it has a lot of the same resemblances.
Yeah.
This string stop and that cable guard looks a whole lot like a Martin or Obsession because that's what Kevin designs. But I have shown you the drawings.
Yeah.
We are changing that for 26 to separate our bows from that. One of the things I'm most proud of, which was my idea, was to go to all grade 5 titanium fasteners.
Thank you for doing that.
It's
Fantastic
just,
choice.
it's another $10 a bow cost.
Yeah.
But what the hell is that in the grand scheme of things? I just don't. Over the years, guys, I ain't paid for a bow in 20 years. My deal with PSC was 20 bows a year. They just shipped me. I have bows in the box that I hadn't even set up yet. Or oh, wait a minute, don't shoot that anymore. This is our new.
Yeah.
Let me send you the Mach 30.
Yeah.
I have one. The CEO has one. That's the first two, and my wife. And I look at it and the screws are rusted.
Yep.
I'm like, I ain't even been in the rain. Inside the house, outside. Inside the house, outside. Rust the screws. That pisses me off. It's like buying a new set of rims and you got a big rust spot the size of a quarter right in the middle of your rim. You're like, God damn, what the,
I didn't know it was only $10 to upgrade
That sounds
them on
really cheap.
That sounds super
It
cheap.
is.
Including
Yeah,
the,
because I looked into buying like I at one point I was going to build kits for every bow so you could change them all out and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
the prices were way higher than that. So
well,
let me know where you're buying
I
them
can
from.
give you my contact.
I would appreciate that.
I will tell you this. Enough hardware to do 1,000 bows. From this supplier in mainland China that specializes in nothing but titanium. And especially the grade 5. They do a lot of stuff for hospitals, medical stuff. I have a very good friend, and his dad owns almost like a Fastenal type company. They priced it, and they was 90% higher. And there ain't nobody in the States making grade 5 titanium. They're shipping it in, and then they're marking it up 90% and selling it to me. So if you don't think that every bow that's out there has got a Asian part on it, you are confused.
No, I agree. I agree. They're not buying their functioning hardware.
Why would I spend
Yeah.
$88,000 instead of $12,000?
Yeah.
Right.
I bought $12,000 worth of grade 5 titanium, and it was $88,000 in the U.S. Common sense. Like, oh yeah, it's is it all made? No, this riser is cut in China because magnesium comes from Asia. You can cut it here, but I'm not calling anybody out. You know who makes the mag bows? They're machined in Mississippi. By a buddy of Kevin's that he actually had cutting all the original Bowtech stuff early on. He cuts a lot of people's stuff, and he just burnt down half of his shop because it's flammable. So you have to get an extrusion shipped from China, and then it's machined here. So okay, I mean, is it really made in the U.S.?
That's an argument that we've been going back and forth with a lot about where are you drawing the line? Because I mean, none of the raw goods are made here. None of them. Period.
Well,
on anybody's stuff.
It's because, Josh, it's where the material is from.
He didn't really leave me a lot of room to interrupt. So once again, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Use discount code BMAC. That's BMAC for 10% off your purchases at podiumarcher.com. Back to the Pigman.
Yeah.
Where it comes out of the ground.
Yeah,
The actual
there you
raw
go.
material.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
do we want to identify the biggest issue with magnesium? It's spectacular. I know a bow company right now that's trying to launch one, then the risers are breaking. And it's simple. Kevin's like, the mistake they make is you cannot machine mag like you do aluminum. The design itself has to be completely different, or you're always going to have tons of vibration, or you run the risk of breaking the riser. Now, we have tested this bow on a cycle machine to 135 pounds at 30-inch draw. 4,000 cycles, never had a problem.
No issues with limbs or anything like that?
Nothing.
Wow.
I don't want to build this bow at 80 simply because I don't want to push the envelope. I don't want a guy to have a problem in the field. Not that we will. Like I say, Kevin just set that bow up at 83 pounds, and you have to shoot it 60 times during this competition with a 200 grain arrow. And
It's like dry
no
firing it,
problems.
essentially.
But at the same time, I don't want to push the envelope on anything. I want a guy to have a great experience, and you're looking and talking to the only guy in customer service. My manager, his boss, is our finance guy. I'm the customer service guy and sales guy, and Kevin is the designer. This bow, these parts come from Gordon. The limbs come from Gordon.
Glass.
The cams are machined in Idaho. The small parts that you see are done in Idaho by Odenthal Racing Machine Shop. And we are trying to get Dave to ship in the extrusion and do all the machine work. Here's the problem with magnesium. You know this. It puts off hydrogen. So it's like a H-bomb. When it goes into the machine chip part and you start piling up chips, they're highly flammable. Ugh. And you can ask my man in Mississippi that just burnt down. I can show you a picture on the phone.
You can ask Martin too, because they did the same thing way back when their factory burned down from magnesium.
So a lot of people don't realize.
Got to be careful.
The whole Asian connection works because when this guy machines these risers, he sells the chips to a fireworks manufacturer. So that big that thing you see, that's magnesium. And I did not know this. These are the things that I said. I thought I knew something about a bow till I started messing with Struther. No. One of my guys are like, hey, the draw cycle at the back is a little bit stiff. My man goes dark. I'm like, well, okay. I guess we maybe pissed him off. Talking about his bow or whatever, you know. And this is him. This is not me. I just told him the way I like what I like to see it look like. I said I want it to look like a tool, like something you pull out of the back of a Jeep and jack your truck up with. So it's what he did. And he's like, an hour later, he comes back. And I'm like, okay. He said, I'm going to send you these cams. He sent the cams to me and another guy. And this other gentleman is trying to help me structure the sales part of our business. And he don't currently, but he has been a manufacturer rep in the past for years. And I said, so, and like we talked about last night, you sell a bow from the length of this table, the shot. What does it feel like? Who cares when a lot of your guys don't even want to see it go through a chronograph. They just say, man, that feels great.
Yep.
And Kevin made a change on this cam with a Dremel. I was like, did you send that to Odenthal to have that machined? He's like, no. He said, dude, when I started Bowtech, I made complete sets of cams with a Dremel. This dude is out of control.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad out of control.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, because he is so not going to get on a podcast or not be on TV, or he don't want nobody taking a picture of him, none of that. He's just to himself. He says, if I won the Powerball and I'm now worth $8 billion, I'm still going to build bows every day. That's his juju. That's what he loves. He's working. When you talk to him on the phone, he's got a headset on and you hear a press going or a crank going or something at all times. But I've learned so much from this guy. I just thought I knew something about a bow. I did not. And he changed the way I said to the guy, what do you think? Now, he built this set. He put this set of cams on a bow and shipped the bow to the guy. Because I'm like, I don't know if this guy's capable of completely disassembling this bow and putting cams on it. So I said, is that what you think you need to sell? He said, that's exactly what I need. Took this guy 1 hour to change that cam. And then the cams that I had got sent back to Odenthal, and we cut prototypes, and that's what our new cam is. So the cycle of this bow is the kind of bow I like. I like it a little bit rigid at the back. Goes back to my sight being way off. I'm way better off with a bow that is maybe 80% let off with higher poundage. So I have tension in the back.
Yep.
So my shot is cleaner.
Yep.
So I would rather shoot heavier poundage.
Is.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Everyone is, because it forces you to shoot from a defining point with pressure.
Right.
Period.
Right.
It just does. Like most people overlook
And
that.
I'll be
it's very
honest.
unfortunate, because it goes back to the 3-yard tournament thing.
Yeah.
Right. This feels really good. I could sit here all day. It's like, yeah, but this doesn't make you shoot better.
No.
No different than this grip feels really good. It's super comfortable. It's like you have no idea where your hand is on that grip. There's reasons for things to feel a certain way, because it gives you reactions that are different that you can personally have input back in.
And over the years, I have perfected the imperfect release. It's almost, I have to teach myself out of, I don't know if it's a target panic. It's almost like I completely black out on an animal. Like, the things that I do standing on the range, I absolutely don't do them things when I'm shooting at a deer. Like, this deer is not going anywhere. His face is in the corn. He's 20 yards. The bow's already at full draw. I'm already thinking, which taxidermist do I want to use? Am I going to mount it, or am I going to? And then, so the pin's sitting there. But what I tell people when I try to help people shoot, I watch them. I can see them punch the trigger, or I can see them they just want to turn this thing loose. And the guy all the way back and his fingers behind the trigger. And then I'm like, okay, I have to film that.
The rattlesnake.
Because I didn't really see what he's doing. And he's left every time. He's like, I don't know. I said, listen, Mark, push the grip in the pin through the target.
Through the target.
And back tension, rotate your shoulder blades, lock your trigger finger, and run. I can tell you that, but I don't do that either.
But that's a cool thing for people to know, because you've killed tons of stuff for a long time, and you still say that you kind of black out when you're shooting animals.
I suck. I don't know. But here's the crazy thing. It is sight related, because instinctively, never a problem. I know I'm watching that arrow, whether it be a recurve or a release, I'm looking at that arrow. And you notice when I'm doing that, it's here. But when I'm doing that, I tuck my head because I'm lining that up with my left eye.
Yeah.
And people's like, how the hell do you do that? Listen, it took years, 4 years. I was shooting everything right and high, to the point, if I was elevated, I would just basically aim at the belly line and tight to the left on everything I shot. I mean, you can look at some of the bush pigs that I killed. You don't ever see them in the daylight. My guy had them baited. It took months for him to move those pigs from the bottom of that canyon up closer to where we was hunting. And these things, he finally had them daylighting. And I'm like, I'm shooting bear at the time. And I felt like I'm on a chair, basically up in a tree. He made a chair out of 2x6s. I'm sitting there. I'm perfectly like this. The pig is right there. That's what I don't like. My tree stand is here. Corn's right there. Oh, that's great. This is the way I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
This is where you shoot.
No,
And
you
this
always
guy's a
do,
bow
yeah.
hunter.
Yeah.
So he had it perfect. I drew back. Bubble came in. I'm like, oh, man, this thing is dead. You know, right under the spine. I'm like, I go back to camp. He's got a backhoe sitting there. I crawl up on the top of the backhoe, put my target out at 20 yards. Same thing, right in the dot, right in the dot. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And it all came back to what, and I'll give IQ credit with the retina lock.
Mm-hmm.
I first tried the Perry's No Peep, which is that reverse single pin that you line up with your pins in the front.
Yep.
And that worked pretty good. The way I hunt in low light, that don't work so well. So I wanted something that was better than that. So that's why I went to this IQ.
And they have huge housings on the IQ ones,
Big.
which is nice. Yeah.
And that retina at the top makes me anchor exactly the same.
Yep.
That retina will be high or low. I'm very seldom ever left or right. But it'll be, and if it's up a little bit, I can reposition my hand till that retina comes in, then I pull the bubble in, and then I make the shot. But getting away from that, and I got to be honest, a gentleman told me you should try the Spot Hog because you have the wire behind the pins.
Mm-hmm.
And I have changed to that 7-pin. And I don't even look at that wire anymore. I did paint that wire white so I can see it with white out.
I hate the white, or I hate the wire, not the white.
But I as long as I can see it go through a color, like the pin tip, I'm close enough at bow range. Now, when I get out to 80, 100, 120, whatever it is, I really have to pay attention that wire's dead center. But I don't pay attention from 20 to 40.
Do you use any other secondary aids like a nose button or a kisser or anything like that? Okay.
Not tied on the string. Goes right there.
Okay. That makes sense.
I just wrap that with bowstring material and burn the knot so it's kind of pointed.
Yeah.
And every so often I have to rotate it a little bit. I don't tie it through the string. I just tie it around the string because sometimes it's not feeling the same. I feel like, okay, well, I feel like my anchor's really good, but maybe that thing feels like it's a little high or a little low. So I'll just adjust it until everything, and even if I have to move my sight up or down, I want that knot right. And when I come in, I want it, boom, I said, there it is right there. And I learned, and a lot of people, as you know this, you guys know this because you're archers, but as you fatigue in shooting, you push your release hand into your face more. But it's easier to dig in. Mm-hmm. And you're the more I dig in, I know when I'm gonna shoot left. If I dig in, and now what I've done, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is crazy. I met a kid, my youngest stepson's buddy, small little school out in the middle of nowhere. This kid's redheaded, and we're talking about bows. The boys are playing football. I'm talking about bows with his parents, and well, his uncle is a rep for Elite, and he was a professional, shooter and all this stuff. Well, I'm not putting all this together. The kid's bow blew up, and I'm like, okay, no problem. So honestly, give PSC kudos. I called him, and I said he competes in ASA events. He's won a couple. He's 14 years old.
Oh yeah.
And I said, let's get him a bow. And come to find out, he's Nathan Brooks' nephew. So he comes over to my house and gives me a thorough ass kicking at 14. So I watched this kid draw the bow back. He draws the bow back. It's up here. He brings that bow over to his face and eases that bow down and gets into it. And I'm thinking, and as soon as he's seen me shooting a thumb button, like I posted something on Facebook, he straight up called me. I knew I'd switch you over to a thumb button. He was just giving me crap, but he's shooting a hinge. But this kid, I told you sometimes I have Nick from AAE up to the house and we do a couple day tuning and we're creating media for him.
Sure.
And I said, man, I got to get little Joe over here. I want him to meet Nick. Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to tell you, ask Nick. He was kicking our ass. This kid is out of control, man. But of course, obviously he inherited it. And I think Nathan is going to go back to shooting. I think he's almost to the age where he can do the older, whatever it is.
Senior.
Senior division. So he's about to start shooting again. But I'm looking at, I've never seen the kid shoot. He was so excited that I got him the bow. And I'm like, hey, you want me to set it up for you? He's looking at me like I'm stupid. He said, you got a press and everything? And I said, yeah, upstairs. I got a little bow room. He went out, he was just looking around. He's like, wow, you got everything. I said, yeah, move them curtains back out of the way. All the stuff's in these drawers. And man, he's in there he's getting his stuff. He's got it on the drawboard. He's getting it in. I'm like, this freaking kid knows what he's doing. Then he comes downstairs and just throws an ass kicking on all of us. He's like, white dot at 80 every time. And I'm filming him, because his release is incredible. Like, even my wife's like, holy crap. I said, watch him shoot that freaking hinge every single time. And if it's off, he's adjusting the sight at 80 yards and then whoop, right in there. I'm like, whatever, Joe, whatever. Some people are just naturals. But I learned from him, I see him gauging the pressure on that release. Like, as he's drawed back, I see him move his hand away from his face and he comes back in. So I said, all right, I'm gonna break out the old thumb. And I did. And that's when I learned. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna purposely force my hand, knuckles right on the jaw. I'm gonna press and pull left. If I come out with my hand and come back in and I lightly touch, which now I'm shooting a spot hog, just a regular wrist release, and that knuckle, earlobe.
Yeah.
If I push that earlobe into my head, that's too much pressure. I have to lightly touch that and get on that trigger. If I don't, left. And when I shoot an animal, where I started with all this blabbing, I forget all of that. The pin's on the animal, the bubble looks good. Oh yeah, I want to get the arrow off the bow fast. This sucker could leave or whatever. I rush the shot and I'll grass sack one. It's just, that's honest to God truth.
At 20? Like close distance? Or are you talking?
No, 20.
Wow.
No, 20.
Wow.
It's my sight being that far. If I torque the bow at all, anything, it changes everything.
And it's not worth it for you to go mess with left-handed. Like,
well, Josh is trying to talk me into it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With as much experience as you've had going from instinctual, like, you've done so much stuff. It seems like left-handed would just be a fun challenge, not
it would
not
be.
I mean,
it would be having it's really weird that with a pistol, you would think, oh man, that could be difficult.
No,
your brain moves it right in front of your left eye.
Yeah,
because that become my dominant eye.
Yep.
And his boss filmed me. I went to an event with a bunch of other people, and we had all the duck hunting guys. They was all up, the waterfowl guys. They was all up at the shooting trap. And they're like, go up there and shoot with them. And I'm like, okay. So it was right after my wreck, and it took about a month and a half for my left eye to go dominant, because I would point and close that eye, and I was still off. It was still, my right eye was still trying to be dominant. And then just during that process, we recorded this. Dual trap house. Pigeons this way. Over and under shotgun. From the hip.
Okay.
6 for 6. Doubles. Pow, pow. I'm like, are you serious? And my guy's like, let me film that. He's rolling. I got all the Primos guys there. And I'm like, that's blind ass luck. I loaded the shotgun, pull it. Pow, pow. The next set. Pow, pow. Now, not a chance in hell. I can't probably even hit it if I'm aiming. But it was in the transition where my eyes was shifting. I have no idea. And that was the best bow fishing I ever had in my life. Dude, I was shooting gar in Louisiana at 30 yards with an Oneida. Like, it's way out there. Just launch it. Arrow go underwater, this guy's like, are you kidding me, man?
Dude, but
it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that was.
Right.
And I have shot 1 million fish with a bow instinctively. I feel like I'm as good as anyone with a bow fishing. But an Oneida is a completely different thing from a wheel bow.
Sure.
And at one point, I had made my mind up that I was just going to build a 70-pound Oneida and I was just going to shoot it instinctively. But I would, because I'm good enough to 40. But elk, mule deer. It seems like, the Western stuff, spot and stalk stuff, you're always going to have to push that to 55, 60, 65. And I just wasn't comfortable. I'd be a little high, a little low. Some days I can walk out on the range with the no nada, nothing on it, just a bow fishing rest, and drop an arrow on it. And at 60 yards, I'll just be drilling. And the next day I go out there and I'm a foot and a half low. Yeah. I can't explain it. It's not consistent for me.
Yeah.
You either got to marry it and do it all the time and say, that's all I'm going to do. Or I'm like, no, it's worth, if I make the shot right, I'll shoot as good as anyone at distance. But if I don't, if I fatigue, if I pull into my face a little bit, I'm always going to be left every time. And I hated the left-handed bow. It's like you get used to picking your nose with your right hand, you go left and there's no way anything's happening. You're like, you just made a mess. And like, what the hell am I doing? Certain things I do great left-handed. But it don't feel natural. Like I've shot a bow for so long. It's just what it is. To my detriment, at least I'm admitting, I don't know. I do not have target panic. I don't know what you call it. Is it animal panic? I think I'll rush to get to the goal.
Sure.
To make that, I want to kill that animal. And it just, sometimes I think after I shoot, like, I'm like, I was aiming 12 o'clock on the heart. How the hell did I shoot 3 inches high and 3 inches to the right? And I think to myself, I don't even remember the shot.
Yes.
I don't remember. I play it back
out
in my head.
Yeah.
Like, okay, where the hell was the pin even at when I shot? So so what I learned and what's helped me is I do my standard. Okay, deer's right. Ease the bow back, bring the bow up, tension's right. And what I do, it's something to do with, it's a depth perception thing from the pin to the animal, that distance. I'm holding that pin on that animal. And what I do now is I close my eyes, 1, 2, 3, open my eyes back up, and I need to make that shot happen in the next 3 to 4 seconds. And that's helped my clarity. Like closing my eye, open the eye back up, and hope the deer ain't moved. And that pin gets crystal. And I really use a super bright light on my pins. So I can really see it. And it's helped me. But I was and it could be a shot panic, could be whatever. And people say, deer you kill with a bow. If I told you, you're going to think I'm lying. But I'm from Texas, where there's such thing as MLD level 3. Go to a ranch and kill 16, 17 deer with a bow. And they have their own tags.
Yeah.
So I have shot tons and tons and tons of deer and animals. Probably over 1,000 animals with a bow, I would imagine. Of 90-something species in Africa. So I've killed a lot of stuff.
But the fact that you still feel like you're having to work through the blackout, I
have
think
to,
you're
man.
giving people freaking hope is what you're doing right now.
And I'll tell people that, like, a lot of guys I filmed over the years, like, my background is I'm an outfitter. I've took people hunting my whole life. I'm getting back into that because that's what I love. I love to set people up. It like you guys with your kids, if your daughter shoots a 140-inch deer, it's like a 900-inch deer to you.
Sure.
Like you would rather, that's where I want to be. And I like people that really don't have no confidence in that they could do this. I teach them that they can do this. And that's one thing that and I've never told anyone about the way I close my eye and I open it back up. And a lot of times I have to do this 3 or 4 times. That's why I went back to shooting lighter poundage so I can hold this bow at full draw for 2 minutes. So I don't have to feel rushed. But again, I think I shoot better with weight and more tension on my hand, not 65% let off. That sucks.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a little bit of dump in, a little bit of valley, and be at heavy poundage than I would be like, pull that bow with one finger. Like, of course, I can draw a 90-pound bow, but I shoot 63 pounds. And I feel like it's better, but I have to be more cognizant of grip, anchor, where the pin is, all these things. But that trick about closing your eye, it just clarifies everything. Like for me, it refocuses. Now, if a guy's shooting through a peep sight, I can't tell you if that same thing works because I can't use the peep sight because I can't see through it.
Yeah.
I have 20% in this eye. All I have is peripheral.
It's got to be some sort of like, it has to be
I
some
feel
sort
like
of mental
sometimes
thing.
my eyes are like bouncing between, like whoa, 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 whoa. Like when I'm trying to focus that pin on that little bitty hair on that deer. But if I close my eyes and I open them up and I'm like, okay, there it is, bang. It's got to go in 2 to 3 seconds or it goes right back to whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's the eye injury. I never remember having this when I shot a peep and I was using my right eye. Like all I ever did was line the peep and the aperture of the scope, whatever side I was shooting, put those two together, get the bubble right, the pin, it's over. And dude, I mean, honest to God, straight up, I could shoot an aspirin at 100 yards. Like I shot hundreds of arrows every day, 7 days a week. That's all I did. 80 plus pound bows. But I'm not that guy anymore. And that you get to thinking about that. Like I think back, man, I used to be able to, I shot a mule deer in Utah, 178 yards on camera. And the guy's like, oh, okay. Holy shit.
Did you put that out on the Outdoor Channel?
It was on TV. People's like, the arrow looks like it's going over the mountain.
Yeah.
Let knock. And the deer's bucking. The guy's like, camera guy looks at me, he's like, you hit that something. I said, right where I was aiming, right behind the shoulder. But I had a Glendale buck target at the time out to 200. And that was exactly max range, was 180. And it was one of those old Sims sights that bottom pin dropped through the aperture and would go below the bubble.
Yep.
You remember those?
Yep.
Had that big eyepiece on the top that gathered the light. It looked like a magnifying glass. And I could screw that one pin down and 180 was money. And guys would come in and be like, you're shooting that deer target down there? I said, yeah. Give me an arrow.
Show me.
And then I'd walk out there at 180, right in that Glendale buck. They're like, dude, that's stupid. I had to trim the trees down that lane.
For the path,
because it was so high. But here's the deal. What was then is not now.
Yeah.
I really struggle past, I'm still pretty good to 100, but I'm not going to shoot an animal to 100. I've shot elk. I shot my elk last year, 65. Shot him in the heart. But it's not as easy as it used to be. Sure. So for you guys that have both eyes and you can use a peep and you can use different size peeps and you work on your technique and your release. And if you have that depth perception issue, just try closing your eye. Just close your eyes for a minute, come back into it and just reset.
I also wonder if that is just a mental, like the adrenaline dump that you get when you're sitting in a blind and something walks in.
Could be.
If just taking a few more seconds, I'm just talking about general population of hunters, does taking another 2 seconds just resettle you enough? Because I'm shaky. Like I'm the same kind of thing. I feel like that's one of the things I want to work on. Like you say,
I'll be hot breathing. Like, that's why I still, I mean, it's 130-inch deer. I've shot 900 of them.
Right.
What the hell?
Right.
And
why am I still doing this?
If it just walks straight in, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's dead. No problem. But if it's in, then it's out. Then it's over there. Then it's blowing. Then it's stomping. Then it takes hours and it finally comes in. Like, but for me, it's not the way I handle the bow. Yeah. That is not shaky. I just hold my breath. And I know my guys that film me, I got this lav mic on. Oh, I sound like Darth Vader. I'm trying not to do that because they're going to be giving me shit, you know? Yeah. Like, boy, you was all jacked up. And I can remember shooting nothing deer that if I had to burn a tag, I wouldn't even have shot it if it wasn't a management type deal. And getting excited. And then I can remember shooting a free range 200-inch deer in Mexico at 35 yards. And like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Jack. And sometimes you get jacked and sometimes you don't get jacked.
Yeah.
But I just thought, my God, what is going on I shot this. I mean, what the hell? How did I shoot it there? I'm questioning myself. And I'm like, okay, screw it. I mean, I make my own arrow. So I get an arrow. There's a rock out there at 20 yards, pretty much where the deer was standing. Dead on. Like, what did I do? So I said, I have got to disconnect on an animal when it's time to execute. And that closing my eyes and opening my eyes, maybe it won't work for anybody else, but that's one of the things that I've learned.
I'm gonna freaking try it. I'm gonna try it.
Just reset. I mean,
not a bad idea.
Targets, I have no problem ever. It's not an issue. Never, not one shot out of 5,000 that I do from any distance. On a 3D target, on a cube, a high roller, anything, I can focus on that white dot, and I can put that pin right in the center of that white dot, and I'm in. But on an animal, and I don't panic. I'm not shaky. It's something with my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't explain it, what it is.
Yeah.
I just know that I have to reset my brain sometimes. And sometimes I'm feeling it. I'll draw back and I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. That pin is just sitting there. And this deer's looking around. I'm like, it's over, bub. You know? And I've caught myself because I sat in a chair a lot in a pop-up, dropping this elbow.
Yep.
And I have to, in my mind, I say, I'm going to push my elbow through the top of this blind. I pick that elbow up and I lock that finger on there. And if I'm light right here and the bubble's in, it's over.
So you referenced this 2014, you had a really bad accident.
Yes, sir.
So can you give a little bit of info on that? And I'm also curious, like, is there any other injuries that are kind of just the eye?
No. Yeah, just the eye. I mean, I had both wrists was broke, all my ribs, 11 skull fractures. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And that's basically telling my wife, I heard her ask the guy at the door. They're like, I couldn't hear it. And he's like, I don't know. Let's just see how he does tonight. And I remember the doctor coming in and saying, okay, in the morning, we're going to have to take you down and we got to do another MRI on your head because your skull is cracked. And he put it up on the thing, the x-ray. He was showing me, and they was basically going to put a plate on the top of my head to pull the break even so it would fuse. Mm-hmm. He came back in the next morning at 6:00, and he was talking to my wife. I don't know what the hell was being said. And then 30 minutes later, there's 10 doctors standing in there. The dude's like, I'm blown away. We have to take you down for this x-ray. Go down and come back. Hour goes by, he comes in. Yesterday, today. Never seen anything like this. It fixed itself.
Wow.
Huh. Wild.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It has to be, man. It
Yeah.
has to be. There's no other explanation for that. Like, my friggin' head, dude, was that big. Like, it was blunt force trauma. And that's how I lost the vision in my eye. That's the way they explained it to me. It's a lot like fighters, football players. When your head hits something, that your eyeball slams the back of your socket, and it's just whoop like that. So what it does is it damages the macula inside the eyeball, and that's one thing that you cannot fix. Now they're talking about stem cell injections could possibly do that. They thought my optic nerve was pinched, which it's in your skull. It's a channel. It sets in a channel, and they thought that there was a break in that channel and there was a little shard that was pushing on that optic nerve. That's what they thought. So I go in there and the guy's like, dude, listen, I suspect that's what this is. I said, okay. I did the front orbital, the weirdest thing you'll ever look at in your life. It like freaked out. And you could see that. He said, that's where I'm thinking is pushing against the optic nerve. But the only way to get to it, we basically have to do brain surgery. And you have a chance of stroke. I said, fuck, no.
No way.
No. I'm 20/10, Jack.
Yeah.
I can see through clothes with this baby right here. I'm good. I don't know. But it was so weird. And I will attribute to everything that happened to me, the way I got fixed was very simple. Acupuncture.
Really?
Had a friend that was taking his grandmother for arthritis to an acupuncturist. Come to find out, for years, she was the dean of Chinese and Japanese acupuncture school in Houston. Like master, 4'5", fingers that long. And so I go into this plastic surgeon because my face is like this. And I'm like, dude, I mean, we got to fix this shit. He said, well, we have to wait for 6 months because if it starts to heal, then it's going to overcorrect.
Gotcha.
So in the meantime, this guy's like, you should go see her. I go see this lady. She says, sit down. I sat in the chair. She comes around there, got a little lab coat on. Comes over there, her fingers is about that long. She's pressing on my face. Oh. She's like,
how far post-accident is this that you're starting acupuncture?
Month.
A month after. So this is probably not feeling good when she's poking her face.
Not at all. And she's like, then she goes, she starts tweaking my face with her fingers. And I'm like, and she said, 9 months, 95%. I'm like, what? She said, when did you have the wreck? I told her. She's like, no problem. 66 treatments. And she said, I'm done with you. And I went back to, I had an appointment with this guy. So I was already at that spot because several different doctors in the same building. I go over to this guy and he's like, what in the hell did you do?
Yeah.
I said, acupuncture. That was it.
Fascinating.
He's like, I need her card. And I gave the card. And before she left, she moved to California with her family to help raise her grandkids. And she was 85 and she looked 55. I mean, never drank cold water, room temperature water, and do these things. And she did acupuncture on herself. But I had a friend, his wife, one of her best friends, woke up one morning, Bell's palsy.
Oh, yeah.
Face drop. I had an appointment with Emma on Friday. She's booked solid. I said, well, tell Kayla she can have my appointment. 2 treatments. Looks brand new. Like nothing ever happened.
Wild.
Mind-boggling, dude. If you do not believe in it, you better believe in it.
Is it basically, they're resetting nerves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what they're doing is as they puncture a nerve, she can tell you exactly how much a nerve grows, but you have to actually poke it. You're into the nerve and that nerve starts growing again. But honest to God, man, some of them was horrible. The ones in your ear.
Oh, yeah.
And this one right there, buddy, my cheeks. I mean, I could have pinched a bolt into. So my big thing was I could not function this eye at all. It was just open all the time, like dry. It just drove me crazy.
Sure.
And so my doctor, I went to see him, little checkup. He's like, hey, you need to go over to the clinic where they do the therapy and let them girls look at you and see if they can't do something to help you, blah, blah, blah. I go over there, and they put them little things on, the shock thing.
Electrodes.
And I, for 20-something minutes. 3 days later, I go to see Emma, and I'm sitting on the couch. She walks through, going from room to room, hits reverse. Straight over to me. What did you do?
You let them touch you.
I said, well, my doctor, she said, come here. Goes to the back room, takes the cover off. Like that? I said, yeah, just like that. She said, if I wanted that, I would have done that to you. Now we're 2 weeks behind. So I can't do anything this week. Come back next Friday. She was pissed that I did that.
Yeah.
And she said, tell me what the real problem is with you. I said, what do you mean? I said, Emma, this eye is making me crazy. She said, so I'm working on that. She said, lay down. I lay on the bed. She said, close your eye. She said, are you trying? I said, yes, I can't. 3 needles. Manipulated them, close your eye. I said, get out of town. That's when I believed in her 100%. She made my eye close. Like whatever that nerve was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hit it and she tweaked them needles, and I couldn't do it like I can now, but I could still, it would take me a minute, but I could still close that eye and open that eye. She said, give me 3 more weeks and that will not be a problem anymore.
Wow.
And she was right on, dude.
Wow.
I would have never believed that in my life. I ain't believing in nothing like that.
Yeah.
But it absolutely worked. It absolutely worked.
That is fascinating.
That was wild.
And we got to be really tight. It's just when she left, I gave her $1,000. I put it in her coat pocket. And she come running outside when I was trying to leave. She said, I'm not taking that money. And I said, well, burn it. It's yours. just for it's a little appreciation to you. She just started bawling. Hell, I started crying, and she was like my grandma. Like, I mean, we got to be really, she would just come, basically, I'm sitting like this. She would so small, she would come in. Sometimes she would just sit right on my leg and start poking on me. And I'm like, hands like a size of a 4-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Like a little teeny thing. But we still stay in contact
cool.
on WhatsApp and stuff like that. But I'm saying people that deal with chronic pain, I know that it don't work for some people, but listen, for $55 or $60 is what they're going to charge you. It's worth a shot. If you've got something going on, to at least give it a whirl.
Sure. That makes
because
sense.
It's not, a few spots hurt, but it eventually, in 2-3 minutes, it's gone. And any given time, when we filmed it, I looked like a porcupine, man. I had them all over me. But she hired another guy, and he would fill in sometime, but he could not put them in like that. Like you just feel a tap. You feel she's right there, and boom, boom. She's putting that needle in. Boom, boom. You just hardly feel anything. And then lay there, always, every single time, 5 minutes dead asleep. She'd turn on a little bit of Chinese music, got the AC blowing in there.
Sounds relaxing.
She'd come in and wake me up and say, it's time to take the needles out. Take her about 3 minutes. All of them gone.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not saying that everybody's like that. I think she was a very gifted and a very special person. She's done it her whole life. What she did. I mean, she has to have some kind of creds if she was the dean for the acupuncture school in Houston. Mm-hmm. So she was legit. But and when she was training that guy, they have this big chart on the wall of all the spots. And he was sat in a chair and he would be putting in, she would chew his ass out in Chinese and point at the chart and roll her little chair over to the chart and point and come back over and point. And like she
and
did
there's
that.
like hundreds of those points
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
chart.
Wild.
Like it's crazy.
It's funny, like one right beside the shin, like mid leg. And we did it 20 times. Never nothing. This one time, she never had actually put her hand on my leg. So she's pinning my leg down. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. And it feels like to me it's going in the same place. Negative. Wham! Leg goes straight out like I would have kicked her in the face. She knew that whatever nerve she was about to hit, there was a chance that my leg would. And I mean, bam! It went straight out. And that was when Matt was filming it. It happened on camera. And he's like, dude, it's almost like you tried to kick her in the face.
Yeah.
I said, dude, there was none of that. And she knew. She just started giggling. And I mean, it's just so funny, dude. It's just so funny.
Fascinating.
A friend of mine, his wife has really bad seizures. Pretty much completely stopped it with acupuncture with her. She stopped it. She knew.
Wild.
Yeah.
Like, she just knew.
I mean, I think that's so. The second big takeaway from the pod is acupuncture. If you've got chronic issues, might be something that's worth looking into.
I'm just simply saying it's a lot cheaper than going to the doctor, even if you have insurance, and it's not going to hurt that bad. It's no worse than getting a grass burr in your bottom of your foot.
Okay.
It's no worse than that.
Yeah.
I could never talk my grandmother into doing it. She just was not going to do it. And some older people are dead against stuff like that. She was set in her way. She was in her 90s. But I wish that I could have got her. I actually told Emma I would pay her to come to the house, and she agreed. And my grandmother still was not having it. I said, you don't even got to get out of your chair. See, we lean you back, and she does it right here. I said, you'll love her. No.
Not happening.
No, don't want her in my house.
That's
Dang
I'm like, okay. I mean, that's so, are you a racist or what?
Last time, I promise, if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Use discount code BMAC. That's discount code BMAC, B-M-A-C, for 10% off your purchases at podiumarcher.com. No more interruptions. Pigman till the end.
Yeah.
She said, no, I'm not, but
That's
I don't
right where
want,
my brain went when you
I
said
don't want
that, too.
needles.
I was like, ooh.
But
I mean, people don't like getting poked with needles.
I don't like
fair.
shots either. I can't look at it.
Yeah.
When they draw blood for blood work,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. Go
see,
ahead.
yeah,
And I tell them,
fascinating.
always tell them now,
No,
I
try
do
not to.
pass out. They're like, what? I said, I do pass out.
You kill 1,000 animals and you pass out
no,
seeing
I
a
just
little
tell them that,
vial
and they're
of your-
freaked out.
I
They're
see,
like, oh,
that's
sit
funny.
back in the chair, or whatever. I'm just giving them a bad time.
All
But
right.
no,
You pointed at this.
We probably do need to talk about this a little bit.
I do. I want to dive a little bit more into. There's some specifics that
right.
I want to dive into a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about what I think a lot of people are going to be interested in is why this is different, and you feel like you have a defensible run against the against Bowtech. And
I can be basic because let me tell you why. Our attorneys are in talks for some sort of resolution.
Okay.
They obviously think in their mind that any movement of the cam right or left, that they own they own it. You cannot patent that movement. It's the way that movement happens. They basically have components that are threaded. Our components are not threaded. We move with the threaded axle or threaded spacer. They have different, but now we've seen, this is why I can't say too much, because yesterday they dropped the new technology and it looks just like this. So to me, it looks like to me that the spacer goes inside the limb bracket and it's threaded on this end and it pulls that spacer in and out. So yes, I could see where they would have gray area, but I'm going to tell you like this and be honest with you. Kevin this is pending, and it has been for 8 months. This patent gets issued, then there's all kinds of other problems, because now he feels like that the new system that they brought out infringes on what he already has filed. So it's a weird thing. And it's, so doctrine, I'm gonna give you some words. Doctrine of equivalent. That's the gray area where we 100% know literally, mechanically, if you break all the parts down, there is no infringement. And I will honest to God tell you that their lawyer, if he didn't believe that, he would not be talking. He would say no. So the case that they have would be the doctrine of equivalent, which they could make a case that it's got to be certain amount of percentage alike.
Yeah.
So that's basically them, my word against their word. I believe totally that this system is completely different. The guy that filed this patent for Kevin worked for Bowtech for a long time, and they fired him, whatever. He don't work there anymore, but Kevin originally hired him when they founded Bowtech. And he said, look at this, the other patent. I said, well, I'm pretty sure this guy filed it. And he's like, you're good. There's nothing to worry about. So what it boils down to, I could say to him, he's got that logo trademarked. I could have a logo like that and say, Josh, I got that trademark. You can't use that. And just try to make him spend money. And that's what this is about. It should be a lawsuit against my product. And what pisses me off more than anything about this, I could take this cam right back through the limb with Derlin spacers, and you don't take nothing away from my bow. That bow then becomes 3.2 pounds, and the bow's going to shoot exactly like it does now. Like, the ease of adjustability, of course, is not there.
Yeah.
But I talked to my dealers. I told you, I'm all the customer service. My guys that are not your age, that are just been bow dealers for 40 years, they don't want to move no cam. They move in the air, man. And then some of them don't even shoot through paper. If she looks good downrange with a lip knock, we're good enough. They're not even moving this cam.
Sure.
So that's not, I don't want people to get stuck on that technology is what makes this bow. It absolutely is not. This bow is badass. So hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement. And we have already said we will not admit infringement. That's not going to happen. I'm trying to keep you from spending $300,000, and I'm trying to keep me from spending $300,000 for no reason. Before I spend $300,000, I'm changing this system. I already have another one that is, they're going to want to look at it, but I don't need some son of a bitch trying to approve what I'm doing. It's none of their business what I'm doing. It's clear of two different ones that would be in question. So if I need to change, and we already talked about it, because it's a little less expensive to make this system than it is this one, about half. So I could drop the price of the bow a little bit. That was already in some discussions we was having, including going to 70-75 aluminum and still keeping the weight the same. So we have those drawings, just simply because it's a hell of a lot stronger. But to your point, and you said this early on when we talked, the magnesium is a big thing. Like,
I do.
We need to stay with that, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I'm open for whatever. Here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to spend $300,000, and the truth is that's the only reason that we're being sued. Maybe because of their new system, whatever it is, it looks like this with the limb brackets and the whole thing. Maybe it's comparable. Maybe, and I think what really set it off, and I'm going to bring this up because this really needs to be brought up, to especially Josh's people. I've known Rob, the owner of Lancaster Archery, for over 20 years, probably 25 years. I remember when his son was that big. He's sent me stuff over the years, sent my wife stuff over the years. He bought 25 bows from me. We went through all the process of all the insurance and all the things that we had to do. And everybody was so excited. Oh man, you got in Lancaster. As soon as this letter came out, before it did, somehow he knew, probably from their sales guy at Bowtech or whatever that company is. And Rob's response was, I can't keep these bows because of this cease and desist. I said, how the hell do you even know anything about it? I said, so you actually have other product of mine that you carry. Do you know that? The Demon Hunter line of broadheads. He's like, I said, I had a partner that owes me $150,000. I designed all this stuff. It's my brand, but I licensed it to him. And we sent him a cease and desist 9 months ago. And why is that shit still on your website? So they had to take it off. So I was basically told they do too much business with that company in bows and broadheads and these other things. And that's why they had to send the bow back. So now where the kudos goes to Josh. Josh said, no problem. He knows we're a young company. He knows we're trying to get this thing up off the ground. So he took all the bows. So I didn't lose that sale.
Shipped from Lancaster directly to Josh.
Now,
intentional.
In their defense, I can understand their worry, and the biggest worry, and it's one I had as well, the Athens situation, because this same thing happened a year ago when somebody made something that Bowtech felt like was an infringement on their tech, and if you still had those bows when it all went belly up, you kind of got stuck with them.
No, you're not.
So I get where they were concerned about it. So, like I said, in their defense, I understand that they're probably just trying to be safe and make it that way, right?
In a response from lawyer to lawyer, my lawyer says something that's pretty interesting. The amount of bows that Truth Archery has sold thus far, basically, it's not worth messing with from a licensing or what I owe them for selling this, whatever it is. He basically said, your client has spent more money in these 2 letters you've written than it's not even worth this. So to me, I'm asking you, is that worth $300,000 out of my pocket when it don't affect the bow at all? And I already have an expedited patent on the other system. It's already been protoed. It's already on a bow. So I can change. But I got a real problem with asking permission from anybody. But I don't want to spend $300,000.
Sure.
And it's stupid for them. But be truthful. What is the real motive here? They don't want me in business. They didn't want Athens in business. But the problem is I'm not going anywhere, guys. So, and I have some guys that have money that will help me and will say, oh yeah, if you win this, it's horrible for them. You think I'm doing any media around it right now? I'm going to have 900 podcasts in 1 week saying their ass has been kicked off. And they're not going to like that. And so I don't want to hurt them. I never want to be the guy that's selling 30,000 bows a year. Hell, we can't do that. I want to sell 2,000 bows a year, 3,000 bows a year. That's it. I'm not trying to take over the market. I just wanted to prove to these no-paying bastards that signed a paper contract with me, it's looked me and my wife in our face and said, yes, we'll do this. And you didn't intend to do this, then why did you ship me the newest bows 2 weeks ago? And now I don't have a contract. And you owe me $125,000, which is a pending lawsuit as we speak. I wanted to prove to people I can do it. And I want to know that them people are sitting at a table just like this every week having a conversation about why did we lose that dealer in Utah? Completely. Because he has 25 Truth bows. And that's what he shoots now. It's a better value. It's a lighter bow. It's a faster bow. The whole shebang. And this particular dealer gives two shits about that K-set. He don't care.
Yeah.
He's old school. I don't even know if he owns a piece of paper to shoot through. But this guy, this dude is like, dude, I'm telling you, this dude is like the plague. He has killed more animals with a bow than anybody I know. And I know some people, I know some guys that have shot the slam 5 times with a bow. Like guys that they're violent. Won the Arvis Award. These guys that go to Azerbaijan and shoot these $90,000 sheep and stuff. So, and they shoot a 8-year-old Hoyt that has no paint on the handle. Absolutely shooting the wrong arrow and absolutely don't need to be shooting a Rage Broadhead at 27-inch draw. Not on a hunt like that.
And they're still
They're still just getting it done.
And I'm like, oh, dude, you're out of control. This dude is, look him up sometime. His name is Tom Hoffman. I call him, everybody calls him Tommy Hoffman. He owns a car wash and Jiffy Lubes in upstate New York. He looks like Mr. Rogers. Do not be confused, buddy boy. My man he is
Mr.
assassinated.
Flat murderer.
Yeah, he's a killer, man. He's a killer. And so I've been fortunate in my life to meet some really good people, including Josh. You know, you hear people say this, and like I told you, I'm sure a lot of people say that dude's gonna be an asshole. But I'm pretty direct about what I believe what I say. And I stick by what I say. And do I want to fight these people? No. I don't want to have to borrow $300,000. How many years is that going to take me to pay that back?
Yeah.
But give us the real motive, guys. What's really going on?
Yeah.
That's not that important to me. I'll be honest with you. If you said, hey, I know them, I talked to them, and they said if you'd come up with $50K, they'll let you stay with that system. It's not that important to me. It just ain't. It's great. It's easy. But fortunately, I know how to move a cam. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And this bow, really, some bows really need this system.
Mm-hmm.
This bow does not need that system. I mean, you can mic that cam on either side and know exactly where that cam is supposed to be set and shim that cam exactly the same. That arrow's going to run right down the center of that bow. That's the way this bow is made, and it's going to tune in 3 or 4 shots. The bow's that good. It is. And I'm just simply, my point is, to me, it's not worth me spending all that money to keep this in place. If they think that that's that important to them, which they're down 60% and they're laying people off, why don't you take that money and hire your people back?
I think that if you're in this industry, you're probably getting sued or you're getting letters no matter what. Like if you're making something like this with all these parts and all the patents that you have to negotiate, I mean, what do you think? Do you agree?
I don't want anything to do with building a bow ever. It sounds like it's a freaking nightmare.
But
there's just so
that's
many
crazy
different things.
because I was actually going to ask you to buy the company. He's out.
No.
But we do, what you know on the mod, that style of mod, there is a royalty, and I guess it's whoever the guy is now that owns Darton. So we
got tons of them.
We do pay that.
Yeah.
So on that, and here's the thing. Does it do the same thing? Do we literally infringe? No. Is there a gray area? Maybe that it, in some way, they feel like it does the same thing as theirs. The only way that we could argue with them sitting at this table, it does, it don't, it does, it don't. But a judge or somebody's got to say that, and for that to happen, let's be honest, there's got to be $600,000 or $700,000 spent. That's dumb. For them too. Even though their owner is, I don't know him, he's a billionaire, they say.
Yeah.
It's pissed off money for him. maybe it's the principle for him, but it's simple. Just be honest, guys. What it is you're threatened by this bow versus their mag bow. They was trying to get here and they didn't get there. That bow is 4.2 pounds. So
it's not. It's lighter than that. I weighed it. It's lighter than that. It's 3.9.
Is it? Well, I'm 3.4.
But it's still, you're drastically different.
So, but back to your point, do you need a bow that light? No. I mean, some people friggin' love it.
Yeah, but it's features that you can provide that stand you out from someone else is a valuable thing. It's like we were talking about last night. It's like the fact that this is that light is incredibly impressive. It'll draw a percentage of people to that product, and that's a good thing. I personally, it's a little too light for me because by the time you put all that extra weight back on it to try to get the balance where you want, you're still going to be a little more vibration because of the weight so low. You take so much out of it. But for now, it feels amazing at how light it is. Like I've never shot anything near that light that felt that good.
I had no idea.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, he knows when you draw this up in SolidWorks, whatever, that program, you can put in the material. It is. And I mean, he never said to me that I had no clue that bow was going to be that light. Like, I think he was pretty amazed when we actually protoed it and he weighed it. It was that light.
It didn't look like it would be that light.
No,
like when you saw pictures and everything of it, I was like, "There's no way it's that light." But I've weighed 2 of them now because you sent me ones to test, and I got the other video done just before I left here.
I didn't,
and
care.
it was same exact. Like it's that weight.
I just wanted
it's not
to
close to that weight. It's that weight.
Standard practice is if a guy wants you to do a review on the bow, that bow needs to come from the manufacturer.
Sure.
A mutual friend shipped you that bow, and I'm not saying that there was anything done to that bow. I'm just saying I would feel better if it was coming from me.
Sure.
But I didn't really care if you didn't. I thought your other review was fair. So you did a great review, in my opinion, of the bow.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to get you to even do another review. I just wanted you to have a bow from us.
I because I didn't have the right spec to actually do it that way, I'm redoing it. Like I'm not trying to like have a giant YouTube channel. I'm trying to build a catalog of knowledge. That's literally what I'm trying to do. Yeah, there's other stuff in there that's fun and entertaining and whatnot, but in general, I want someone to be able to 5 years from now look up bow X and find a video that breaks it down specifically. Awesome. That's all I'm really trying to do. So if I have bow X and it's not set correctly and they send me one that is, I will redo it. I've redone a couple for people before. It's like, hey, I didn't have the right stuff. You sent me the right stuff. Because what is critical for having it be relevant is that it comes out when the product comes out.
Yep.
Right. That matters. So I have had to do that before. Like we could only get a 60 pounder, so we're testing a 60 pounder, not a 70 pounder.
That sucks though. Like that's
it does, but it's more important that the information is shared with the same equipment. Right. So that it was shot with these chronographs, checked with these scales on this press, on this board. So there's comparable from A to B, C to D to E. Because not everyone, or there's not very many people doing that, that you can check these 10 different brands that they came out with this year and they're all tested the same. So it's fair. And that's really all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the future. Obviously, what I think most people hope happens is that they have more options. And what I think most people would love is for guys that decide to take a leap and do something that is incredible, which is literally just decide to build a bow from scratch. That's incredible. I think that most people hope that there would be encouragement for that stuff to happen, but it is a freaking minefield of going through patents.
It is. But I mean, as far as, like this pivot dampener, this pocket dampener right here, I mean, this is something that Kevin's patented. So the patent's pending on this as well. And what he told me was, this was something that he came up with for those super heavy bows at like 190 pounds. Mm-hmm. And it just, he said, you wouldn't believe how much it helps. And then you take this off and shoot the bow, you really can tell the difference.
What are you feeling? Are you feeling vibration?
Yeah. Vibration and movement.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It just makes it deader at the top like that. But for me, like maybe I'm comparing this to what I have shot in the past 2 or 3 years, whether it be a carbon, whether it be, a speedbow Omen. I feel like this bow is as dead as anything that company makes. So, and it's lighter. And for me, it don't change on the shot. Whether I put a sidebar on it, whether I put a 4-inch, 6-inch in the front, whether I put a 6-inch in the back, for me, if I was really worried about, I drew this tag and I'm going to need to take this bow for a long way, I drop the stabilizers off of it. I don't need it. I mean, I shoot it out to 80 without anything on it, and it don't change anything for me. I mean, of course, I feel a little different in the hand.
Sure.
But I just don't absolutely have to have it.
I would argue that your stabilizers probably aren't functioning like stabilizers if they're those lengths, though.
Yeah, you're short, and it's not going to make that much of a noticeable difference.
Well,
you put long
I got
stuff on there,
4,
and it
and
would
then
change.
You got weight down low, which does change.
And then
it,
6
but-
here at the back with about 5 weights on it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, have you ever run like a 15-inch front bar? It'd be interesting to just let him try.
Negative.
No, I get it. You should have a blind.
I don't do no 15-inch nothing. I can just tell you, number one, that ain't my thing, boys. These guys has got that. And now this, I'm like, get out of my face. Okay, let's go full major league bow hunter. Let's wear Oakleys in the tree stand. I can see them for 9 miles. I'm here. Got my bow, got my shades on, you dipshit. Why don't you wear flow orange up there too? No, we ain't going. Here's the thing. It's so funny. The 35 sold so fast. Like, I never even got my hands on one. One hanging right here in Josh's store. And that's the first time I ever touched one last night on my own damn bow. I'm afraid that I'll like it. I don't want to shoot it. I don't want to shoot a 35-inch bow. Now, you guys on this 15-inch shit, now I'm going to have me a big stabilizer. I'll get one 4 foot over here and 3 foot over there.
I just want to see what you think.
Why don't we just put a tripod on the end of it, and that'll really get me steady. I'll put it outside the pop-up.
I know how to get you on this. You know, you're talking about your pressure in your back causing a left to right massive difference.
Yeah.
If that stabilizer was longer and had more weight on it, it would be less of a difference because the bow would not be able to react as much. Gotcha.
Y'all are messing with me, man. Gotcha, bitch. Y'all are messing with me, man.
It's just interesting because this is another thing that I think for people that are shooting, like you are a guy who hunts and you sit in a blind a lot
Most
of the time, or you want to be in a place that's super compact.
Yeah.
And you and I have both figured out how to hunt with longer bars out of a blind, but the blind has to be a freaking decent sized blind.
Yeah, it can't be little.
6'4", I'm 6'3", 6'5".
Yeah.
Like we got to be. Sorry, I don't want to take measures from you.
6'5.5".
Exactly.
I refuse to be
Plus or
measured.
minus the 15 inches. And is that to the top of the mohawk, or is that just
Yes,
about
that's
the
hawk
I mean,
free.
I'm
That's to
assuming
the
that
skin.
when you draw your bow inside of a blind, you're still sticking the arrow out of the window and then drawing, or are you sitting in the back of the blind?
Negative?
He's in the back.
In the back of the blind.
Then
Yeah.
you would
Then
have.
why
room
would the
for a
stabilizer
15.
length matter?
But we all hope this is the shot, right? But
Yeah.
that summit ain't never always right there.
Right.
Maybe he's back and right. Maybe he's on the left side and he just is. I've got to get to the window and go around that corner, and that's why I use a short stabilizer in the front. I want to get right up beside that blind if I have to.
Are you drawing and then making moves, or are you getting to where you want to get to and then drawing?
No. I mean, that's what I say. The poundage I shoot, I can hold it forever. So I'm at full draw and I can move wherever I need to move. And if I need to push that into the blind just a little bit, it would be great if I'm sitting at the back of the blind like this and every shot is, whoo, deer's right there. And I'm all the way against the wall, elbow's not hitting, I'm at full draw, I'm good, I move my chair a little bit, and then put a 900-inch stabilizer all the way out the front window with a kickstand. But I ain't doing it, man. I ain't doing it.
For
Y'all
for the sake of podcasting.
Yes, sir.
Fix your chair.
I'm
get back
coming.
in.
All right, I'm back. But something that guys really don't think about, and like a lot of people probably not brought this up on your podcast. This is where your shot is when you're in a tree stand or a chair, right here.
Yep.
Do not face the blind directly at the kill spot.
No.
So, and we all have phones now. They all have a compass. Mm-hmm. Sun rises and sets. Know where the sun comes up and where the sun goes down. And you don't want to be in this badass spot an hour before daylight. Wind's perfect. Things are looking good. I'm already hearing something crunching on the corn. And then wham! 500
right
million candle power. Sun is right there. You're just lit up. So just think when you put a setup in.
Yeah.
Use your phone. Use the compass. know you can shift that blind behind this tree, or primarily most of the time, you're going to have what wind in that area. Choose the spot correctly. And you would not believe how many places I go. And they're like, man, I got this big hog coming in. I've been wanting you to shoot it, blah, blah, blah. I go get in the blind. First thing I do, walk to the blind. I said, take me to the blind now. We can't go in there right now. I said, show it to me on Onyx. Oh, the sun's no problem. It's right there. And it's prime time. When the pig's coming, the last 10 minutes of light.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun's setting right there, just radiating. Yeah. Can't move. It's like you got a spotlight on me.
Yeah.
And just think, or actually sit in that blind at that hunting time and see what, oh, okay, I see. I need to back it up just a little bit and get this tree to block it.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the best position so that shot is right there. So you don't have to manipulate, and you don't, because for me, straight up, guys, if I crouch, like the window has to be perfect. I have to be shoved all the way to the back of the chair and my back completely straight. I take a deep breath in, and if I crouch, she's going left. I might as well aim at the ass because she's going left. I already know. And I'm just trying to say stuff, tell people stuff that I've not said before.
These are great.
They just assume that I'm just, oh yeah, he can close his eyes and kill shit. It's not. It's just because I've done it so much, but it's also because I have filmed a lot of people shooting pigs or shooting deer. I mean, I run the camera too. And I watch people and I'm like, hey, straighten your back up. Like for them, I got a camera guy sitting where Josh is at, and I'm facing him. And he's filming here and my shot's here. And I always say, hey, I'm going to draw back, look at my arrow clearance on the bottom of the window of the blind.
Make sure I don't.
I'm going to hold right where I think the deer will be, right about that height is my arrow clearing. And yeah, like by that much. And the other thing people do, the manufacturers of pop-up blinds need to understand that 99% of the people are not duck hunting. You do not shoot out of a pop-up blind straight uphill. The top of the window is where all the light comes in. It's just like this light right here.
Mm-hmm.
So ambient light outside. And the closer you can close that window, because theoretically, the distance between your 20-yard pin and your arrow shaft at full draw is the only width you need. You need to be able to put that pin on the animal, and you need to make sure that going back to my man Jay, I said, Jay, you're going to shoot through the blind. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Not just clipped it this far down. Wham, right through the wall and still stuck the pig. But hey, that's a testament to a good broadhead. I guess he shot that pig in the ass, and we was laughing about it. But I tell people, my God, dude, what are you doing with the window? Like, I could shoot a bird out of the top of this 30-foot tree.
Yeah.
Like, the further you can pull that down. And it's really a simple thing. You hold your bow up just like this, and you can look at the window, and you're like, oh, yeah, I can bring that window up a little bit at the bottom, and I need to close that window like 8 inches at the top. And I always carry safety pins, black safety pins in my pack, and I always have just cut pieces of like camo or black sheet. The best thing is that cheap netting that you can buy anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You cut it with a pocket knife, and if I have no use for this part of the window. All my shot is right here. There's no way a shot's happening over here. I just block it out.
Yeah.
I just pin it. And the straps, that's what'll screw you. Where the rods are on the pop-up, they all have to have that little wide flap, because when it pops up, it's got to cover that rod.
Mm-hmm.
Zip tie, zip, 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 because that's where the deer's going to stop every time. Deer's walking in from the right, coming to the left. You draw back, he ain't coming to the left no more. My chair is right here. I'm looking right at this strap. I got to shoot to the right or the left of the strap, and neither one of those positions are a good shot. So believe it or not, taking that from that wide, that's the distance from me to Josh, to that wide is everything in the world.
So he's talking about a 2-inch, basically the extra fabric that's around that rod. You just compress that
That's
down.
all I do.
Yep.
Or you can take a piece of paracord and just
Yeah,
go
just
around
wrap
it
it.
with paracord. You see my blinds, people are like, dude, what in the hell have you done to the blind? Don't worry about it, old boy. They don't see me sitting in here. It ain't happening. And I always wear black, like a black top. That's what I do.
Yep.
I mean, that's the way I hunt. And
do you do anything on your face?
I do not like nothing on my face, mask wise. I will take some black and just knock the sheen, the glare off my face. But I'm not one of them guys. I don't want to be looking like a nut coming into camp. And they're like, dude, do you see anything? Well, why'd you paint your face like that? You look stupid. So
just in case you saw something. That's the point.
But
in case something came in.
I do absolutely enjoy being in a tree too. I mean, but I think my jam is outsmarting them on the ground. Like, have the blind there, and this is the last thing I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tear you up bad. I learned this from the guy that I hunted bushfish with in South Africa. Long story short, he has domestic hogs. He has a feed room. It's the size of where we're sitting right here. Center blocks. He's baiting these bush pigs. They're down in the canyon. It takes him about 9 months. He moves them about 20, 30 yards a month. Raw meat, sour corn, but a sheep die, they chop it up, throw it in the barrel, the funkier it gets, the better they like it. So I'll drive up. He's like, come on, we're ready. Hurry, we got to get in the blind. They'll be here. He's the one that taught me how to red light pigs with an LED trailer light. He's got a little box and wire. Here he comes with the wire. He's got the little light, and he's got a rheostat, which is like a Pontiac dimmer switch. And he lights that light up, barely cracks it. The pigs come in, and then you just sit there and watch it slowly gets a little bit brighter till you say, yeah, it's good. I can shoot right there. So we get up there. He throws hog shit all over the side of the building. Like cover, I got you. Cover scent, wind's great.
Sure.
The wind's blowing from the pigs to us. We're good. Sitting in the pitch black. The light ain't even on out there yet. He don't turn it on till he hears them coming. And I hear him, what the fuck is he doing? He's got a charcoal chimney this tall, full of horse shit. Lights it.
Ah, interesting.
Whole room is full of smoke. And I can watch. He leans over and tells me, watch the smoke. Even though the wind is so perfect in our favor, but watch the thermal of the wind. And you could see that smoke go out of that room and drift off to the left and to the right, and you could just see it over the top of that red light. Like, that's what they pick up. And so what I started doing, guys, is after July 4th, when all the fireworks stands are closing down, I would buy the giant punks that are about big as your pinky, yay long, light them in the blind, because that don't alert, that does not alarm. Most of deer or animals that you hunt have smelled smoke or been around smoke, and it don't alarm them. So one place in Mississippi, I was in a tree, I lit one, and it's almost like I set the pasture on fire. I think them deer are still running. And that was last year. It freaked them out. But the guy told me, he said, hey, we burn this off every other year. So maybe they related that smoke to, oh shit, they're burning this again. But dude, I have filmed pigs, free range wild pigs that ain't never seen a person. Have them hitting bait, the wind perfect, and watch them come out of the woods and stop right here. All of them stop right here. And they're waiting on the wind to shift. They stand there for 30 minutes looking at that corn. Like, I want to eat that corn bad, but I'm just not going to commit because something don't seem right. And they just standing there looking. And finally just turn around and walk away quietly. Never come in. Light that punk, right to the bait.
So the punk would basically be a cover scent? You are not the first person that I've heard this tip from. And they'll burn incense in the blind, which that seems crazy to me.
Right.
Like burning incense, but I've done it and had doe come in, but I just couldn't freaking sit there.
So my Utah dealer has found a place to buy these things. Mm-hmm. They're not the big ones, but they're longer. They're like 20 inches. And he buys like pure elk piss. And he said the funkiest one is the boar piss. And like, I've tried the elk. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I kind of just like the smoke, but let me tell you something, dude. He sells them like a 20-piece tube of them. He's selling 30 or 40 tubes of them a week. people are eating that up. And I'm like, well, you're probably going to be sued for mesothelioma or something like that. Because that shit cannot be good.
Yeah, that cannot be good for you.
It cannot be good. So I don't even really like have a thermostat, but that was kind of what gave me the idea when Nico told me that. And so that after I killed that pig, which I don't even want to tell you what happened. I shot at the boar and he juked. I mean, he was backing up when I shot, and I basically hit this sow 12 ring on the ear. A 85-pound bow with a 600-grain arrow stovepipe this pig. It just fell over dead. And he's like, well, you got one. Well, I got up there and it's that big. Well, my wife's killed the 2 big ones. So I went with another guy, and he did the same thing. And we was in the middle of nowhere. He had a big tower stand and feeder right there. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning before the pigs ever came in. But he was doing the same thing with that chimney. They just pick up dried cow or horse shit and burn it. And wind's going all over the place, and they just buy it. And they come in.
That's interesting.
Wild.
I feel like that's something that there should be some sort of product that's developed that would work as a cover, but that you could maybe put outside the blind so you're not just like smelling burning horse shit or whatever.
In Rick's case, that's what the guys do. They just basically put it out and light it outside the blind before they get in. Now, if I'm on a big deer or a big pig or something like that, oh no, I'll light it in the blind. If it's just not a dipped one, but like a standard, because a lot of people think that a punk, they say it's camel shit. Well, it's not. It's
like the punks that you would buy at the fireworks stand?
That's what they say, but it's sawdust. I mean, I did a lot of research on it. And so you're just like burning wood. It's not a big deal. But I always put it way over, like by the window. But I got to be honest with you and tell you, it's not foolproof. It don't work every single time. But I have had a lot of great animals that come in a bad spot, that come up behind the blind, and just basically the wind is feeder here, the wind's like this, and they're just trying to wind it. And they're going to walk through that wind at some point. And if you got that little bit of cover, and so I'm setting up a new place that I leased in Oklahoma. I'll have 15 setups there, feeders, 15 pop-ups. I'll have some elevated stuff. But what I'll do, let's say you guys are coming down next week to hunt. This weekend, I would go to every blind, pour a bottle of water on the ground, stick that punk in the ground and light it.
Yeah, and go burn it up.
And every single one of the blinds will already have, the animals that come to that feeder have already smelled that smoke. Then when you walk in there, you can shit your pants. And with that smoke going out the window, you got them.
So do you need to have that running the whole time? Like if you're sitting for 5 hours?
No,
I'd say burn that original, burn the original, and you're fine.
And then if it's getting closer to prime time, like, okay, the next 30 minutes is going to happen, I'll light another one.
See, I wonder about bear hunting too, using the same strategy for black bear.
Absolutely. 100% doing that next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially if you're on a big old nasty bear that doesn't like coming in when people are there. It'd be an interesting trick. And are you always setting up downwind, like directly downwind?
Not necessarily. It just, if somebody's already got a feed spot located, you can't very well go in there and like, okay, the next 3 days the wind is this. There's really nowhere to set the blind right for the wind. So the thing to do would be move the damn feeder. But you don't really want to do that because then it freaks them out because they've been eating there for the last year. And like, okay, why did you move that? But that's where that punk comes in.
Okay.
If I am never going to hunt a blind, the wind's blowing to the feed. Now, I might have wind going here and the deer might come from here, but the deer should come from here. But how many times is you think that deer has come from right there the last 10 times in a row on camera, and for whatever reason today, the deer come from here and walks right through your wind. And if you got that little bit of smoke, I think they're like, okay, I smell that. Cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's a great
tip I'm going to try.
I've done it. Like, I'm not just telling you that's something that I heard.
Yeah.
I have blown some deer out. I have boogered a couple big pigs, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to be suspect. And just for a second and be like, oh yeah, home chicken was burning that brush pile here. I remember that. And just keep walking, come walking right on in.
Fascinating.
Awesome.
Just something to try.
Last thing, and then we'll wrap her up. So you'd mentioned that you are typically hunting a heavier arrow, 550, 600 grains.
Well, until I met Kevin Struther.
So that's what I'm wondering about. So how far down did you come? Like what weight now?
Well, put it in a context. The reason you haven't seen my arrows is simply because the guy I was in partners with, I had no idea was shady as he was. We basically made an agreement, and he reneged on all of it. I have a lawsuit against him and his two partners right now for over $150,000, and he basically licensed my brand, and we were selling this product, but he never paid me anything, not one penny on the stuff that I designed. So I cease and desist and shut him down, and that he's sitting on all the products. So essentially, I have a 125 ID arrow that is 203 OD with a 7075 outsert with a post that goes inside the arrow with this threaded. So you screw all this on. That arrow in 600 spine will tune for me at my draw length.
600 spine?
Yeah, it's 378 grains. That's for my duck and ass deer in Texas.
Yep.
But no, middle of the road, I'm going to be at 430 for years. And it's crazy because I had Carbon Express for years. When they come out with the Triad, they wanted me to shoot the Triad. And I never could get that arrow to tune at a lighter spine. Even if I backed the bow down a little bit, that arrow just seemed weird. And so I went to the heavier arrow, and that arrow was 560, 575, somewhere right in there, just depending on what I was doing. But the elk that I killed in Oklahoma, which tied, they measured it twice after it dried for a year, and it tied the state record. I shot that bull with a Core Series PSE bow that you could buy anywhere at 66 yards, and the arrow that I was shooting was 575 grains. But I was using a pretty big mechanical, and I center punched him. I just wasn't trying to crowd the shoulder at that distance.
Yeah.
Because that's just one of the bows that they had that you couldn't tune. But I figured out how to, I know that it wasn't made properly.
using a bow that doesn't tune and arrows that I would argue are very difficult to tune as well. That's funny.
Nothing I can do about it, man. They pay me a lot of money. I got to shoot it. But I'm just simply saying with the setup that I had, that arrow did do really well off that bow. It's like 67 pounds, something like that. It was a brute. That's what I shot. Shot it for a long time. That's what they wanted me to target. They had Dudley on the higher end stuff. That's where their mentality was.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why all of a sudden they shifted and wanted me on carbon. So I don't care. Like it.
Well, it's because that was what was selling.
I mean,
and they're like, this is like what people are coming to our company for, so we need to emphasize that.
And whatever. But you're doing great on the retail side compared to the other people that I'm talking to. They're just not moving anything. Like I talked to a guy that's had a shop in New Jersey. He grew up as a kid working in that shop, like a little boy. That shop is like 50-something years old. Mm-hmm. And I talked to him. I sent him a bow because I wanted him to try it. I like the guy a lot. He's a little short dude. He's super sharp at tuning. He does his own strings and stuff. He'd be one of the only other guys that I would actually, if he said, okay, your bow's ready, I would know that it would be ready. And he said I hadn't sold a bow in 2 weeks.
Right now? Like recently?
This would be about a month ago. Okay. He hadn't sold a bow in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, Rob, what the hell?
Well, that's probably early for when their seasons start.
Maybe.
It could be.
Yeah, but that's still a long.
That's
I don't think you've gone 2 weeks ever in Nashville here since it started.
It's rare to go a day without selling a bow.
Shove them out the door. So we touched on that Athens thing. This is the last thing. I want to make this clear. And no way that's happening to us. And let me tell you why I know this. Because the kid I was telling you about, Joe, he knows a guy that he met through tournament shooting. He's an older gentleman. And he reached out to Joe. He's like, do you know how to get a hold of Pigman? And he's like, yeah. He said, I know you said you was buddies with him. He said, what you got? He said, I know the owner of Athens, and they're wanting to sell. I was in Destin, Florida, at my house down there, and the lady called me. And I'm like, okay, so what's really weird about all this is what is the emergency? Why are you needing to sell it right now. She said, well, this has got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm thinking, the first thing I'm thinking is they've got some kind of EPA violation or something really weird is going on. Nobody ever said anything about what was going on. I had no clue what was happening with Bowtech. I just thought it was really weird. And it like went from, she wanted 80, and then an hour later, it was 40. And I'm like, shit, if I wait till dark, I mean, I get it for 7,500. But what am I really, I said, what am I buying?
Yeah.
How many bows do you have? None. I said, so I'm buying the Athens name. What intellectual properties do you have? None. I said, all this is suspect. I said, I'm not interested. So the guy at the time, at one time he was CEO of PSE, and he is no longer. But I called him, and I said, what do you think about this? He's the high-functioning autistic, I'm telling you. Dude is like Rain Man with numbers. And he's just like, there's nothing for you to buy. Well, come to find out, I'm still pretty certain that he called the owner of PSE and Heritage, and they sucked it up. He told me no, but then I'm pretty sure they bought it for $15,000. So I think PSE owns it.
You think they had no physical assets, no machines, no nothing? They were
literally
because
I asked.
No. Yeah.
I ask. So
Yep.
we have a 3-man band. That's all of us.
Yeah.
This bow is designed. This bow comes in parts to Kevin. Kevin coats it, Sarah coats it, tunes it, builds it, ships it, all himself. There is not one other person. His wife sandblast.
Oh my God.
Bead blast some parts. He has nobody else. It's all him. So every single bow is built by Kevin. Like, no, but I thought that's pretty cool. Nobody's really ever got him to do that.
Like,
yeah.
And
I mean, it's
so
like each one is individually custom made
this.
by the engineer. That's
the dream,
impressive. Yeah.
The dream, right, is I'm like Josh Bomar. I want to buy PSE. Well, I don't have $8 million. I can't, I mean, I'm not going to, can I hit some people up and mortgage some stuff and pull that together? Maybe. Oh, but now what would I be? I would be the owner dumping $300,000 a month in it to keep the electricity on. That's the guy I would be. So I don't want to do that and buy somebody else's headache.
Yeah.
I want to start very small with limited amount of investment to put my toe in the water. I mean, like, okay, yeah, let's make 9 models for 26. Let's buy 500 each. Well, that's dumb. You know what I mean? Like guys like Josh, he didn't have to step up and take these bows, but he did because he wanted to help me. It ain't because he just wanted to have these bows in his store. But I will say, if you listen to this podcast, he has more of these bows in stock than anybody in the country. So if you're really looking at a truth and you want to shoot a truth or one of any other damn bow that's made in the world, they're hanging in this store right here in Nashville. So you guys should come over here. I'm talking to these guys about maybe coming over and doing an event, a cookout on a Saturday. I'll knock $100 off the bow. That's coming off the company. We'll do some kind of special. I'll set your bow up. I'm sure Josh will work on your bow and hang out, shoot the breeze, and at least come and test drive the bows. And if you don't like mine, totally fine. He's got a bunch of other stuff in there he'll sell you. So all cool. Thing is about promoting what we do. And started this company small, and it's not going to fail. I'm going to make some changes. I already told Josh I want him to talk to Kevin. I want them to get on a conversational deal and talk about some of the things that plus or minus for him. And it's not all about what I like. It's about what everyone, and who's a better retailer to talk to than Josh? It's what he's done his whole life. So he knows you can stand there in his shop and look and say, yeah, that's something that's on fire. That's why I have 80 of them and 4 of them.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just what he's done his whole life. So I feel like it's a great bow. I feel like you did a great review on it. I didn't expect you to do that second review. I just wanted you to have a bow from the manufacturer.
Sure. Well, no, we'll review all of them. So I'll do a 31 and a 35 as well.
I really am interested to see the 35 one. That's the one, because everybody just freaks out over that bow. I'm blown away that we've sold that.
I
many.
love the fact that you're like, I'm not going to try it because I'm
No,
worried
no,
I'm going to hate
already
it.
know.
Or
I'm gonna
love
drop-
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna like it, and it's gonna be huge.
And then
And
here
I'm
we
gonna have
go.
a 15-inch stabilizer.
I'm gonna
My
go.
life sucks.
I have a 19. Yeah, no. How's that pin working for you? I'm still batting my eyes. But I thought Kevin. I cannot take any credit for this. I did not like what I saw on the first drawings, and it was I seen nothing else but the riser. I'm like, no, I want some straighter lines.
Yeah.
You know, and I personally, for me, I like this grip, but I'm accustomed to a straight. You know, just like a straight grip. But a lot of people are commenting the way that sets in their hand with these grooves that he's got cut right there. I haven't heard a lot of people be negative about the grip.
Yeah.
But of course, it's not exactly what you like.
There's some contour to it that I don't like, but all in all, I like a good square-edged grip because you can tell where your hand is on it.
Yeah.
Like it's really relevant. Like find me a target bow that doesn't have a square-edged grip.
And
They all do. There's a reason.
About the system in the back, the picks in the front. You've seen the changes personally yourself, so that's the changes that'll happen. But here's the deal, guys. I'm going to be straight. I've got inventory. I'm going to sell through this inventory before I drop anything.
Sure.
I may drop one model in 26. It would be a 31 with 6-inch brace with the features that we talked about. And that bow I'll be about 352. We've already tested it, so it's fast.
Yeah.
So we're still kicking around the 7075 aluminum. It's a little less expensive, but not enough to make a big difference. But to Josh's point, he thinks the magnesium is a lot of what this bow's about.
It's an argument of why it's better, right? There's only so many options that even exist in that world. But if you want to work with a lighter material, there's so many advantages to something you can machine. Like carbon's cool, but you're always going to have aluminum integrated with the carbon to try to make something functional. If you can make it out of something that you can fully machine as one part, I really think you're better off.
I also think that carbon is going to go away, and these will be the future.
I do feel that way, but it's hard to say. I mean, there's some high players that are heavily invested in carbon.
It is.
Is the problem.
It's the problem is too with that is where it's made, and a lot of people really don't realize that some of that stuff is not made in house.
No, it's
there's
not.
a room with people sitting there with blowers and grinders, and they appear to be making carbon bows, but they're not. That shit comes from somewhere else, and we all know that. I mean, if you listen to Bow Junkie, Greg Poole et al., he'll tell you all about that. I'm not getting into that because I don't want to get sued over some accusation. I am tired of getting sued. But like I say, I have nothing personal against Bowtech, and I have the solution for all of us. We've already talked about one way. Compromise. Nobody spends money. I could give two shits. I think this is a great bow with or without it. Second option, make me an offer. Buy it. You don't want me in business? Talk to Kevin. They hate each other. Make some kind of deal.
Yeah.
Let him outside design, because I feel like that he is probably the best magnesium bow engineer there is. This is first try. Like Protoed, we didn't go back to the drawing board. This dude, I promise you, I feel like he's one of the best bow engineers probably ever lived. The dude is super smart, and he's fast at what he does. And he can make changes like this or tell you, well, I don't think, this is what will happen. But he's never off by a foot or two on the speed and the mass weights and the way something feels. He's always right on, man. It's just what he knows how to do. And I kill pigs and he makes bows. I cannot take credit for this. I don't even know that I picked that color. I mean, I just let them. Nobody's ever just let him go. And I did. And hopefully we can get some resolution with this deal. Again, my final statement is simple. We literally do not infringe. And our lawyers just talked. And I think once their lawyer figured out that my guy, this would have to be litigated in Delaware. And my guy is licensed. Him and his wife are both licensed patent attorneys in the state of Delaware. So he just told him, you just don't want this. I'm reading this, and if they reached out to me with this claim against truth, I would not represent them, because this is a simple thing of there is no patent infringement. by your own patent's language. This is what it says. It's highlighted in the letter. What are you claiming? Letter 1, no response. Come back with another letter, still no claim. Explain what is infringing. How? You have to. And they cannot. So all they want to do is basically it's a claim against, I don't want you in business.
And they haven't actually filed suit. What
No,
they
sir.
have done is just sent you a letter saying,
Yes, sir.
hey, we believe that you're infringing on our patent.
Yes, sir.
And you have said,
We're
we
not.
aren't. So we're going to
That's where
continue
we are.
doing business.
And I think it's stupid for either one of us to spend $300,000 to go let some random person tell us whether it is or not. Do you know how many of these sumbitches I got to sell to make $300,000?
A lot.
A lot. So to me, let's just be honest. What it is, it's they got a little bit of wind from crushing Athens, but obviously Athens was already in dire straits.
Yeah.
I know what I've heard that they paid for the company. They lost their ass. With inventory I have at cost, I'm back flush. So I'm not looking at losing money on this company. I want to make good bows for people. Some people say it's too light. Maybe they love it because it's light. But this is not going to hinder me. I'm not letting this system shut me down. I'm not going away. So that's what it is. And who's to say we change to the other system? Who's to say they won't do the same thing?
They will. And if it's not Bowtech, it'll be somebody else.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of what I was saying is
Yes.
you, because of the minefield of the patents, you will likely be in defense mode for whatever you're making.
The rest of my life.
Yeah, likely. But that's why you just have to go,
But-
okay, they're going to send me they're going to send me a letter.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist. And then I'm going to say, we don't believe we are. Go ahead and spend the $300K. Come see
That's
me.
what it is.
Yeah.
But they get brutalized when you lose that claim. It's going to be bad. Like people are going to burn them down. Like people are already commenting. It's David versus Goliath. You know, that's what it is. And we got the grassroots people, man. Like people are on our side. And hey, if they want to sue me, I guess I'll just start a GoFundMe. I mean, I'll just poach off Josh's people, and we'll get $5 a pop, and we'll go to court. But I'll tell you this, and I'm straight up. I'm not scared of representing myself. I will take Kevin, and the facts are the facts. Here is what the claim is. This is the way this patent reads. This is what we have. Have both systems laying on the table. Do I win or lose? If I lose, I pissed off $300,000, and I got to change the system anyway. So I said to my lawyer, do you remember, and he's a sharp dude. I said, do you remember back when Axel went through the limb, you had Derlin spacers on either side of the cam? He said, yes, I do. I said, what if I went to that? He said, they can still sue you. I said, then why ain't they suing everybody else? Why are they not suing everybody else? I could talk Prime into licensing me. They probably never would. The snap spacer system that PSE uses.
Yeah.
I put that on this bow and sell it, they can still sue me. They don't want to touch PSE, but they can sue me. And you would think, because we brought up the other two companies that uses this system, as of last night, still no letter.
Yeah, because there was a rumor that was going out. Okay. Interesting.
Muy interesting.
We're getting into some deep cuts here. Listen,
Yeah,
we're deep into the pod, so let's wrap her up. Can you tell people where they can find you? I would assume most people that are watching this already know who you are.
Pigman TV.
Pigman TV.
Yeah, I mean, that's my website. You can just type in Pigman on any search engine. I'm on all the major social platforms. We're kicking it up a little bit on YouTube. I'm thinking I'm going to get a mohawk and start doing some bow reviews. And I mean to talk to you about, I'm going to have to cease and desist on that logo right there. And Landon's been taking pictures, and we've been conniving this whole time. But, man, I'm the same way I am every day. All I want to do is promote the sport. I don't want to get rich. I want to make a living for my family. That's what I'm doing. I have children. I want to take care of my people. And this is what I feel like I'm good at doing. Do I think I'm going to make millions off a bow company? Hell no. It's just from being mistreated. Now those people have to say, not only did we not pay him, but this bastard somehow has talked Kevin Struther in to design, finish, assemble, ship. Like, how's that even possible? It's not easy, buddy. He is we go sometimes 10 days and we don't talk. But when he's got it, when he's focused, he's pissed right now. Bad. And as we speak, breaking world records in flight competition. So he's a maniac. So, but I believe him and Josh would get along great. And it's always good to know other people in the space. I mean, I knew what you were about. I've watched your reviews before, but I walked into this store and was blown away. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, holy shit. I mean, if you live anywhere within a couple 100 miles, it's worth driving over here because you're not going to have to think, boy, I bet that bow in that color would be badass. Well, move 2 or 3 out of the way. There's one right there. He's got it. So, and more arrows than I've seen, well, my garage. But, but anyway, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to send some stuff over to you guys to play with. Like, check my arrows out and see, and some of my broadheads and see what you think. And you'll see that if you ever like that old style of broadhead that Rocket had for years, that's been sold 100 times, all the patents are gone on it. I basically went back to the guy, paid, me and my guy from Utah, we paid for the tooling because it's had to update all the tooling, and it's the best version of those heads that's ever been made. And I changed the steel on the blades. They'll cut your face off. So they're wicked little broadheads. So, and the packaging is good. I'm going to send you over some. You buy some, fine. You don't, fine. I just want you to see what I have.
Sure, for sure.
But anyway, thank you guys for having me. I hate that we even had to talk about this. Like, but it is what it is. I mean, and I'm going to end it like this. Fact, Podium got me sued. There's no doubt. Ain't nobody sent no damn letter, and I'm into conspiracy theory, right? So I get a screenshot yesterday, from another bow dealer, of this just dropped from Bowtech. And I'm thinking, it's weird that the day it drops, that I'm doing a podcast over here tomorrow. I got to be honest with you. I feel like I'm in the trenches in Oregon, like Bowtech Bill. But then I go walk around. I go walk around in the shop, and I see where you are. I see where your mind is.
We actually do have the whole Bowtech staff back there, and they're going to beat you with socks. They're going to beat you.
Well, I tell you what they can do. They can attempt. The one-eyed bandit's still pretty salty. But I do appreciate what you're doing. It's good to see other guys that I'm glad to see that people can use the platform like YouTube and stuff, and how well you've done, not just your popularity, but how well you've done for yourself and how you figured out with this brand, how to monetize that. Because in the end, what you really want to do, it's not about you having 900 bows in stock. It's about you having a customer every single option under the sun. So you come in, you can't say, God, I love that bow. If you had that bow in gray, I'd buy it. And you got it. You know, most of the time, do yourself a service. If you're in the hunt and you're not sure, come to a shop like this. This one in particular for me, if I lived anywhere around here and I needed a bow, I would be here because you have everything. Every vein, every arrow, every broadhead, you have it all. You can completely set the guy up. You make an appointment, and the guy can actually shoot every bow. Because truthfully, like you say, a guy's already sold. Okay, I'm getting a lift. I'm getting a lift. I'm getting a lift. Well, why are you getting it? Is it a price point? Is it the weight? Or you just want to be a fanboy? Is it, what are you really looking for? Maybe that guy needs to shoot some other stuff. At least here,
you have the option.
You can option to shoot all the brands. And I feel like maybe this year he's a PSE guy. They change models. He wants a new bow. Just because that one was good, it might be a Bowtech. It might be a Matthews. You need to shoot different models, and that you will find a bow that will be substantially better to you than what you thought in the beginning. But if your mind is sold on that one thing, fine, but you should keep your options open because every model, every cam change, draw stops, mods, all these things matter. And you owe it to yourself to have your draw weight, draw length identified, and leave your options open. And you cannot do that with a shop that has 9 bows on the wall because that's your choice.
Yep.
You have to be able to walk into this room, that room, over here. And that's what you have right here. So we'll be hanging around. I'll be coming over. Next time you see me, Mohawk.
God, for your sake, I hope not.
Hey, you know what he's going to start doing now, right? This next animal, he's drawing back on this big elk. He's going to go.
He's going to close his eye.
I got Blake.
He's going to be thinking about
Guaranteed I'm
Pigman
gonna
when he's
Well, thank you guys. This was great. You guys have been awesome, badass shop. If we can do anything for you guys ever, I just thought this would be a great way to cross-pollinate our people because our people are not the same. Some are, some's not.
Sure.
And maybe this will work. Maybe this will help us both.
Yeah,
let's hope so.
No, thanks for coming out for sure.
Yeah, and sell some of these sumbitches.
Yeah, well, that's the idea.
So thank you for doing that because you didn't have to.
Appreciate it.
And
no worries.
I think that last thing is that says a lot about who Josh is as a person. He wasn't trying to monetize anything. He was trying to help a guy out, and that's what he did. So from myself and my other guys that own the company, we appreciate you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
I don't appreciate the people that it come from. So I'm done with their ass. They're fired. And yeah,
I like this.
my man just took over. It's Josh Castor. I'm just laughing. No, I just thought it was really. Here's the deal. I thought it was kind of a crappy way to do business. They didn't have to treat me like that. Not a random guy, man. But I see what they're saying, I guess. But everybody don't feel the same. So Godspeed, my man. Keep the gel on the hair, and we'll see you next trip.